I know that they at the crib gone crazy. Oh man, what they had didn't laugh. Damn, baby. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Baby. I took a half and she took a whole thing. Slow it down. Baby.
That's fucking mad, you know. I took a half, she took a whole thing. Bruv, stop advocating drug use, Jakey boy. Your fans are 10-year-olds.
They're like, they are, as
And
they're all on TikTok at that.
You don't know already. This could end terribly. Episode 7.
2001.
2020.
Cha-ching.
21.
21. Hey, listen. Yo, this is 2000 and Savage.
2000 and savage, boy.
That's what we calling it.
Lads, man,
top
here
up.
we are. Here we are. Didn't seem so long ago we were recording the Christmas episode, but, you know, a few days passed and we're in a whole new year.
A whole new mode.
Thank
Happy
fuck.
New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
How are you, man,
How's
doing?
your New Year, G?
My New Year's was pretty chill. I was, just chilling at home, mate. Honestly, like we had a few whiskeys.
Well, you weren't a bando rave?
Went at a bando rave, which we're gonna get onto. Goddammit. Went at a rave. Was at the house, which is, to be honest, a bit of a rave. Bow bandos. We were chilling. Absolutely just chilling, having a drink, eating, and then we watched Death of 2020, which is that Black Mirror.
I need to get onto that.
Yeah,
What's
it's
it
fire.
about?
It's hilarious.
It's about 2020.
It's literally like a summary of 2020 through the spectrum of obviously politics and coronavirus, but
Satire.
it's a massive satire made by Charlie Brooker, who did Black Mirror. So it's got
Samuel L. Jackson in there.
Samuel L. Jackson in that.
He's so jokes, bro.
Yeah, he plays the
Bro,
role
anything
of,
with Samuel Jackson in it, yeah?
Yeah. He's
worth
firing
watching.
it. He's like a journalist in it. It's got Hugh Grant in there, and I'm still trying to figure out if Hugh Grant has aged that much or if they put
No, it's makeup. He's David Starkey, right?
Crazy,
That's who he's
bro.
playing.
Oh, is that who he's supposed to be?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel you. All right, bet. Hugh Grant's in it. And then there's a few other people who you might know as well. So check that out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Not that we're being paid to endorse
Not yet.
shows. Not yet.
Not yet.
How was yours?
Mine, yeah, was actually super quiet. Super, super quiet.
What did you do?
Went to my mama's.
Big up, auntie.
Shout
Listen,
out.
but imagine this, yeah? I was going to surprise my mum and my sister with sushi, yeah? Like a little sushi night in.
A bento box.
No, there's a place called Iro Sushi. They're like dotted around like from Fulham to Tower Bridge.
Just
like with
handing out
mum's.
free promo
Yeah?
here.
Come on.
It's actually good. I tested it out the other day, yeah? So anyway, I've gone to Iro, or whatever it's called, at like 9 o'clock. It closes at 10. It's
Yeah.
queued up with loads of like Deliveroo.
Oh, wow. Everyone's on the same tip.
Everyone's on the same tip, yeah?
Right.
So then when it comes to my turn to order sushi, I was going to order so much, like the deluxe box, this and that, blah, blah. The woman tells me they ran out of fish.
What?
Shit.
Yeah, shit then. Right.
Shit
and
then?
then I was
Shit
like,
then?
I was like, but you still got, I went there around like 8:48, yeah? So
Right.
like, still got what, an hour and 12 minutes, something like that.
Good maths.
Left, yeah?
Yeah.
Quick maths. So basically, I'm like, what do you mean you close at 10? Like, how can a sushi spot, all you need
Yeah,
to
it's
do,
a big
yeah?
part of your business.
Listen,
It's
all
fish.
you need to do is just buy a fish in it and do your thing. And the woman said, yeah, like it's just been really busy, blah blah. I can't hate in it, like local businesses.
True say, KFC ran out
they're
of
doing the
chicken
thing.
one time.
Bro, I've been there.
That's mad.
KFC ran out of
It's
chicken,
mad.
so you can understand a little shop running
Yeah,
out
exactly.
of fish.
So, but then I call my mum
That's
now.
crazy,
Yeah, I was like,
though.
Mum, have you eaten? Like, I want to get you guys sushi, something nice. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Like, I made fried chicken. I made chicken, fried rice, plantain, and salad.
Ooh, the essentials.
So now
Hold
I
on,
was like, okay,
Can I
Mum-
just interject at this point?
Yeah.
The way you said plantain.
Yeah.
Plantain, bro.
No, it's
Plantain.
plantain. I'm a Caribbean.
Plantain, bro.
I think that's the Caribbean side of me.
But you're
But it's
also
got-
half Af. So,
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
But it's
I
also-
think that's the Caribbean
so
side.
do you
of me.
alternate between translations, like pronunciations? It's plantain, mate, when you're around
No,
me.
no.
It's also
bro,
written-
I'm
it's
balanced.
also
You're outnumbered with some Africans here, innit? Pay some respects, innit?
Listen.
That's what's up.
Listen, yeah.
It's
all
also
I'm-
written with an A in it. Like I'm just
Okay, but how, yeah,
Plantain.
What the fuck, bro?
Plantain.
plantain.
Listen, fountain.
Yeah, exactly. You just proved that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, exactly. So we talking about
Fountain.
no,
Fountain.
You don't
That's
say
how everyone says
fountain.
it. You go to Trafalgar Square, you go visit the fountain.
No, you don't. You're lying. As if you're excuse me. I have 10p. I want to put it in the
In
fountain.
the fountain. When you go to Rome,
you
you
tell
go,
me
you go to the Trevi Fountain.
Trevi Fountain.
Yo, listeners, yeah. Can you just agree with me? We're gonna do a poll on this at some point, yeah.
All right.
Do you feel that I get like completely rinsed by Abs and Sir Johnny, like at the start of every episode.
A big part.
Or do you think that I just what's the word? You put it on myself. I put it on myself.
Bring it upon yourself.
Bring it upon myself.
A big part of being my friend is getting rinsed and
Yeah.
rinsing.
Oh, bro, you are the biggest troll.
I try.
When I see Richard's typing, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Listen, when I see,
Yes, thank you.
listen, and I even troll him now. Cause whenever I see Richard's typing, yeah, bro, I always write in italics. Richard's
How'd
typing.
you get the
Yeah, I
italics
know, I
so
see
quick,
that
bro?
one.
I'm not gonna lie, that gets me mad a bit.
He gets you mad, did it? He said, Johnny, how was
I
your
hate you
New Year's?
anticipating my typing. Like, stop anticipating my
still-
typing.
actually fuming,
He's
it's
hot, bro.
still-
He's hot, bro.
fuming.
He's hot. It's calm, man. Listen, bro, I found I found the kryptonite with it, man.
It does work as well.
So New
It
Year's
starts
Eve-
fuming in the group chat.
Swear down. So New Year's Eve at your mum's with your sister, chilled.
Yeah, mum's chill.
I like it, man. Sounds
I popped
great.
the slur. I gave the crown
Oh, went
another.
wild.
Bro, popped the slur, bro. My mum's teetotal, innit? So like, I don't get away from it.
So you got to pop bottles.
Yeah, and then basically just pop that slurb. We have selection. We have the white grape,
Nice.
the red grape, we have the berry, everything there, man. And then,
Everything
bro, you know,
there.
it is, yeah. My mum's from the Caribbean, yeah, but when she came to London, yeah, she went straight to a Ghanaian church, innit? So my mum's basically Ghanaian as well, innit?
Okay.
And basically, like,
And yet you still say
what I'm trying to say
plantain
is
wrong.
planting, man, for the world and back. But Johnny,
How was yours?
How was your New Year's?
I was making platanos mainly, which is the correct way to say this fried banana thing that you two are arguing over.
Platanos.
Platanos. No, I was chilling, man. I decided not to go out. I thought I'd play it kosher this year. Stayed in. I was leading Real Betis to glory on Football Manager.
Why Real Betis?
Because that's my favorite team in Spain. They're the second team in Sevilla, which is probably my favorite city in Spain. So that's what I play as every year. It's a nice little La Liga challenge. Anyone who knows anything about Football Manager knows that La Liga is the hardest league to play in because there's a fucking Mazzoline every 2 games.
What's the league called?
La Liga. It's the Spanish Premier League. So I like playing Betis. Anyway, so that's what I was doing. So I was listening to Jack Kerouac's On the Road because I haven't read that. So I was listening to my audiobook.
Do you recommend it?
Yeah, it's quite mad. It's quite mad. Like it's extremely outdated. Like you can tell it came out in 1957 or something. Like he keeps talking about like the cotton picking Negroes that he met in the fields and like this mulatto girl that he gets with.
To be fair, there's a female rapper who calls herself Mulatto.
Yeah, I don't get her.
which is a bit mad as well.
I'll
It's a bit
never
mad.
listen to her music.
She does a nice twerk challenge.
Yeah. So anyway,
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Wonderful.
We'll get there. But anyway, so there's a lot of like terminology that maybe was kosher in the 50s because within the context of what he's saying, he's actually being quite nice. It's just that he uses that terminology. So it's a very dated book, but it's also probably it's more of a commentary on me as a millennial that's my reaction function rather than the content of the book itself, which is a very interesting story about self-development and growth. But it does seem that he spends a lot of time just putting different birds away all over the country.
Love it.
On a shoestring budget.
Look,
So
we
fair
love
play
it.
to him. So that's what's up. I also finished Bob Woodward's Rage about the Trump White House yesterday as well. I got that one for Christmas. So yeah, man, it was just audiobooks and Baileys and Football Manager, and then I watched the lecture, and then I went to bed, and that was up. That's what's up. I kind of hate myself.
When did you watch Mandalorian?
Mandalorian, just after Christmas Day. So like,
I need to watch
27.
that because
it's
like
10-10.
even like my auntie watched it. She was like, I watched it start to finish.
10-10.
Isn't
Same.
that
I
like-
binged it.
Isn't that like Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, it's Star Wars. So it's set between episodes 6 and 7. It's a spin-off series. And it's about. So, have you seen Star Wars before?
No, I never watched Star Wars in my
Look me
life.
in, look me
Have
in
you
the,
not?
look me in the face. I hate Star Wars with all of my insides.
You're moving mad.
This Caden Terribly is looking for 2 new podcast hosts this week.
I just
Applications are there.
I don't get it.
That's mad chat.
I've never understood it.
That's very mad chat.
It looks awful.
But have you actually sat down and watched the film?
I tried.
Which
what
one?
was the one that came out like 4 years ago? Was it like episode 1?
4 years ago? No, that would have been episode 7.
No. It was a cinema one. It was the first one that I think John Boyega was in.
Yeah, that's episode 7.
Oh, whatever then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that one in the cinema and I genuinely went back to the counter and I asked for my 2 hours of life back.
That's bleak.
Yeah.
That's bleak. Well, I mean, that wasn't the best one. Anyway, it's dope. Everyone should watch Mandalorian. Find a bando way to get yourself a Disney Plus subscription.
Did you guys get any good presents?
Yeah, man, got turtlenecks, fam.
Turtlenecks.
I was very surprised when you uploaded a picture saying that's the first turtleneck you've owned.
Yeah.
For real?
That's crazy.
You
Well,
seem
my
like the
mum
kind of guy
had-
who would have more turtlenecks.
No, my mum had. I got a picture of me as a kid wearing a French Connection. Do you remember French Connection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They used to be
okay.
jokes because it would almost say fuck, and you were allowed to wear it to school.
Risque.
So
Risque.
mine was
bro.
a navy blue, white in the middle, and baby blue outline French Connection turtleneck.
Okay.
But I hated it because it used to make me itch.
Oh, so you lied to your people?
No. But my mum, no.
So
my mum,
you lied to your
no,
followers?
my mum, no, I didn't. My mum reminded me. My mum was like, "What was that? You've had one before." I was like, "No, I haven't. I hate." And but to be honest with you, I always associate turtlenecks with like those fake pastors or people that are online on Instagram selling you forex, saying that they're a trader. Like they always tend to wear turtlenecks and blazers, isn't it?
It's become a sign of wealth or a sign of success.
Yeah, so I don't like it because I think it's phony. I think it's shit. I think it just doesn't look good. I think you look like you're begging it, and because it like a lot of the forex guys, like
Well, fucking hell, I'm not buying you a turtleneck next year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
6 months ago, my wife cheated on me. I lost my house. I lost my kids. But if you follow my trading strategy, you'll become a millionaire overnight.
Yeah, and they
Click like and subscribe.
Listen, click like and subscribe, and then they're rubbing their hands with it as well. It's just phony, man. And you know what it is? It gets on my nerves, yeah. And why it gets on my nerves as well, yeah, is because I hate telling people what I do professionally. Because as soon as I tell them I'm a trader, and you might have had it before. Oh, so you sell you sell forex? Oh, can you send me some ideas?
Oh,
Can you,
no way. For
can
real?
you?
People ask you that?
Huh?
People ask you that.
All the don't they ask you that?
No one's ever asked me that.
Bro,
the one I
sort
get
of-
is, what
sort
are
of
you
South
doing in stocks
London-
and shares, mate? Have you got any Tesla? And I'm like, I haven't got any Tesla. Now, have you got Bitcoin? And I'm like, I also don't have any Bitcoin.
Bruv.
No.
I actually had Bitcoin, yeah.
Do you?
I had, I bought £50 Bitcoin, yeah.
£50 worth?
£50 worth of Bitcoin,
When?
yeah. This was like 2 years ago.
Oh, you're up then.
Yeah, I'm up, yeah.
Come on.
But the thing is, I don't know what my login is. Because
Oh.
that thing is like, it's sort of like, it's weird, like, you got to stay logged into it. I need to find out. I need to ask my old colleague. But it's funny because basically the transaction costs, let's say example, I can't remember what Bitcoin was. It might be like, I don't know, like 12,000.
Okay.
Or 8,000. I don't know, something like that.
When you bought it.
When I bought it,
Okay.
right? And it was approaching a new high. But I paid, for example, 8,000, yeah?
Right.
I'm using it as like a made up number.
Okay.
But then the transaction costs of like the spread, the brokerage fee and stuff, it actually made my all-in price higher than the high. So I got bantered at work saying like,
The
look at
execution
us, like,
trader.
one of our
Can't
traders
execute a
at
fucking
one
trade.
of our traders at like the biggest asset managers in the world. He printed a new high. He's the guy that did it.
You're the high
so
tick.
So then now I think now Bitcoin's like skyrocketed again.
It's like 28 a bag or something now.
So
But have you not seen all these stories of people like, my cleaner threw away my USB stick and I lost 110 million pound from people who bought it in like
yeah, they're
2007. There's a
capping.
few of them,
They're
bro.
chatting shit, man. They're capping.
They're just trying to sue Rosalita for
They were the people that were about to buy.
her son's school fund.
They were the people that were about to buy and then they didn't buy.
Oh,
There's a
I'm one of
guy-
them. I'm 2012. I remember I got one of my first paychecks when I was working at that company, and it was like the first proper paycheck I'd ever got. I remember standing outside having a cigarette, and Bitcoin was about 200 quid or something in 2012. And I was like, should I just put my first paycheck into Bitcoin? And I was like, actually, no, I want to go Westfield and buy Moody Ralphie's, basically. So I did that.
But Ralphie's,
And now-
yeah, but
and now-
choice.
But no, but,
yeah,
but,
basically.
but did you?
Yeah, and now,
but did
now
you really?
I'd have 10 Bitcoin. I'd have had 10 Bitcoins. It'd be worth $250,000 quid.
Lovely.
But
Shame.
did you really? But at the time,
but
it
you
felt
look
good,
good,
though,
bro.
I looked.
You look
so
banging, innit?
delicious,
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah,
I was top dog in Foot Locker for like 15 minutes,
bro.
bro.
This year, I want to bring back Ralph Rugby's.
No, that's
Okay.
not.
Wow, I'm getting
No.
proper.
No, we're not doing that. So you got polo necks. What did you
No,
go for?
turtlenecks, bro.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Turtlenecks.
Smooth.
Yep. What'd you get, Johnny? Any presents?
I got shit ton of books. I got quite a wide array. People just went knees deep into my Amazon wish list, and then I also got a book for Secret Santa as well. So I got Jack Kerouac's On the Road, another one by Michael Lewis. I got some Plato. But then my favorite one was my mum knitted me a pair of socks.
Big up, auntie.
She a wavy knitter. So she
I
managed
thought
to
you said your mum nicked you.
no.
That'd be funny.
She might have done. I don't know. She didn't send a video of her knitting these ones. But
Hopping into the Primark on crud like I need some
I need
100%
these
cotton
socks.
socks for my son. It's
Wool.
Christmas, bitch.
What's that over there?
100% wool.
100% wool.
So she managed to take some time out of her schedule from knitting shit for my nephew to make me a Christmas present. She got me Tottenham coloured socks, navy blue and white. That's what's up.
Lovely.
They are
Sick.
so warm. They're so nice. So thank you, mummy.
That's
I
dope,
appreciate
man.
those.
Yeah.
I actually got one more present that I'm so gassed about using.
Go on then.
It's a £100 John Lewis voucher from my sister. Big up Miss Tash.
Big up.
I've been meaning to buy a new bin, like a sexy bin, for my kitchen.
What's a sexy bin?
Like chromed out, freaking. You
Or is it the one where you put your hand over the top of it and it
you
just
hover
opens
your hand
automatically?
over it. It does its own thing. Listen,
Mazzolini.
listen. So when we're out of tier 5, yeah, whenever that is, yeah. I know we're in tier 4, but when we're out of tier 5,
Yeah.
John Lewis will see me. I'm not going to buy online. I want to go there. I want to touch the bin. I want to like.
You know,
hover,
how there's something proper bougie about walking around John Lewis. I remember used to go to Oxford Street, like just pop in there every now and again and be like, it's like you're not quite rich enough for Harrods, but like I don't need to buy my shit from Muji anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you
But
feel
shout
kind
out
of bougie.
Muji though.
Shout out Muji.
Muji's wavy, man.
Shout out Muji. Muji's nice, but
Muji's like Uniqlo's little bro.
there's a little bit
Yeah.
like I contributed to the
No, no,
budget
it's
for the
like
Christmas
Uniqlo's
advert
homewear.
by buying at John Lewis this
Yeah,
year.
but they do clothes as well.
I know, but like it's like for me, it's like the home of
Yeah.
But the one thing I don't like about John Lewis, yeah, is the feeling of leaving John Lewis buying something because the packaging is shit.
What do you mean?
Like their shopping bags are weak as fuck.
Oh,
Like they're thin.
Are they?
Yeah, not great. Like when you
Can't say I've ever-
when you
Can't
leave
say
like
this is not-
when you
this is
leave
not a
like
complaint
no
I've had.
like when you leave like Liberty or you leave Selfridges
bougie.
or
Yeah,
you leave
come on.
or you leave Browns and
Just
places
FYI.
there, yeah?
Did
Like,
you hear him?
or
When you do Liberty, Selfridges,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
Browns,
or like
Harrods, you know, when you get
Fortnum and Mason.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnum
When
and-
when you come
Bro.
out of Claridge's,
certain manner.
the
Yeah,
bag
innit,
the
trust
bags
me.
are just like they're just harder. When it's raining, you're pissed, bro, because like it's just dead out there. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm not bougie, by the way.
yeah,
I'm not bougie, but I do think John Lewis could improve their bag quality.
yeah. Yeah, I just got money and some gift cards. That was it. Really.
Gift cards to where?
Apple.
Oh, decent.
Yeah, I'm
Sick.
gonna be in the
AirPods
market.
pending.
No,
you wanna get
definitely
AirPods,
not.
Rich?
Definitely not. Definitely
Rich,
not.
get
definitely-
AirPods,
no,
man.
not
Do
a
it.
chance.
Grow up.
Not a chance.
Grow up.
Not a chance. Do you say grow up? No, I don't like them. They look ugly. Yeah, I'm in the market for a new laptop and or PC, I reckon, in the next few months.
Oh, well, how old is your laptop?
This laptop is probably 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
And
And
it's
how's your
perfectly
phone?
fine, but I think with podcast and with working from home and all this other shit, I reckon I need a backup and or a main station for like my work at home situation.
Or a Mac?
So
Get a Mac.
it might be an iMac, yeah, exactly, desktop thing, or I might just get a more powerful souped up laptop. I ain't decided yet, but I'm just gonna rev up on some gift
Do
cards.
your research.
Until then, do my research, do my Googles.
Do your reading.
I actually wanted to quickly shout out everybody who didn't get to spend Christmas in the way that they may have wanted to. Obviously, it was a limited Christmas situation for most people in the UK, especially people who are in London, South East, etc. Who have been in tier 4. I know it must have been very, very tough for you if you didn't breach Boris's guidelines to have Christmas in a much more limited capacity. So we're just honestly just sending out an acknowledgement and a shout out to all the people who had to adapt, who had to adjust, who had to tone it down, who had to do things a little bit lower scale or less scale than they would normally do it. And also just a quick shout out to those people who actually had to spend it alone, because there's a lot of people who I personally, got in touch with and made sure that, they knew that I was thinking about them during that period of time as well. So it's just an acknowledgement for the people who spent Christmas alone and New Year's Eve as well. Big up.
I had Christmas on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mum's way up north and my nan's way down southwest. So they went to go see each other, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just Zoomed them. So actually, it was all right because I spent most of the day getting pissed up with my old dear on Zoom doing the cooking. She was on the other side complaining about my nan, and it was pretty much just like being together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I saw it actually. I saw your thing on Instagram. Like,
yeah. Man cooked a whole
think
feast.
I think
You
I
set
saw
up the whole
spread.
Zoom with the whole fam. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
No,
We had a
wasn't that
full
your mum?
generation
Wasn't that on your
Zoom.
mum's page as well? Or your
Yeah,
mum,
she-
your mum's,
maybe.
she
Yeah.
uploaded another thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
your
uploaded
mum's
another
page.
thing. But we had a 4-generation Zoom. We had my nan, mama, me, my brother, his missus, and then little baby Reuben.
Little Reuben.
Little Reuben.
Hey, big up. But yeah, no, but to everybody who, as I say, who had to scale it down,
Shout
who
out.
still hasn't been able to see their family
Shout out.
beyond the FaceTime or beyond the Zoom, etc. Shout out to you people. Hopefully things get a little bit better. I think for the reasons that we are now actually beginning to see a little bit more of on New Year's Day and onwards, of all of the parties that took place and all the raves that took place in and around London and the UK, that I think some of the bad news is probably going to continue as it pertains to the tiers. The government don't necessarily need many more excuses to send warnings our way, but obviously all of these parties and these raves that are taking place are going to have I would imagine a pretty fierce correlation with the R number staying at a high level.
You lot are dickheads, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I just
So
come in and put my foot down on that one? 'Cause
I'm glad you jumped in. I was going to get there,
But
but
you
yeah.
men are dickheads because all these people who go to this party, the kind of bars that they'll be dropping is like, but I understand the risks. Like I know that I understand the risk to
Idiots.
this. So you're a double fold dickhead because the first thing is that not only are you taking the risk for other people, right? If you go to a party, you get it, then you walk past someone down the street or you go and meet your mum or meet whoever. They haven't elected to get the virus from you, right?
Yeah.
You're forcing that upon them. So you're a dickhead in the first sense. You're also a dickhead in the second sense because say you get ill, and I hope it doesn't happen, but this particular strain appears to be more impactful on the young than the original one.
Yep.
And you end up going to hospital. Say what? Like I knew, I understood, and I took the risk, but it's fucking gone against me. And then you're going to demand hospital treatment. You're going to take up resources. You're going to take up taxpayer money. You're going to take up bed space from someone who probably caught it from your other dickhead mate who was at the same party that didn't volunteer to get the virus.
Do you guys get the text as well? Like London Ambulance Service and our local hospitals are extremely busy. Please support our staff by only calling 999 in an emergency. We're getting these texts to our phone because things are desperate.
I
saw a video on Shaber or UK Gossip, which was just like police had shut it down. They opened up the gates to this underground rave and they just politely ushered people out. It was just an endless stream of people. It was like 6 or 7 people deep and they were all walking out and it was about 100, 200, maybe 300 people.
So then people there,
out.
don't ask for no doctor when you go to hospital.
Literally.
Don't ask for no bed.
Literally.
Don't ask for no
Don't
treatment.
complain about waiting times, motherfucker.
No. Don't ask because you understood the risk, puppy. That's what you're going to say, innit? You understood the risk. You want to have a good time. So then wear your risk. That's how the job works, isn't it? Yeah. You want to be a risk taker, you got to play the game.
100%. And there comes a point where obviously we understand that there is a huge fatigue around coronavirus and all this other stuff. I understand. And I know that everybody's done their bit to an extent, but there are people who've just been flagrant throughout the whole year.
It's a team game. This getting through this is a team game.
Yeah, people think that people think we're over the hill with this.
We're definitely not.
We're so far from that.
I've been in quite a lot of reading on this new strain and the things that everyone knows are that it's particularly more transmissible than the other one. But the other stuff that people don't know is that it also appears to be more impactful on younger people, like I mentioned. So among the samples of people that were tested, the most prevalent positive results or most prevalent age groups were 0 to 9 and 10 to 19. So it's a lot of young people who are probably going out and enjoying themselves. And it is them in particular who seem to be more harder hit by this new strain. It also, because it's more transmissible, has the potential to cause much larger infection numbers. Yeah. So I think it's a comparable R rate of 1.7 versus the other one, which was at 1.1. To put that very brief into context, if we take a start, I saw a thread that was brilliant on Twitter, but I think the numbers in my head were, if you took a starting point today of the virus of 2,000 people and an R rate of 1.1, as the old one was, in 2 months, you'd have about 6,500 daily cases. Right, from a starting point of 2,000 cases, you'd have 6,500 daily cases at 1.1. If you had 2,000 daily cases and the R rate is 1.7, in a couple of months, that translates to like 70,000 or 65,000 daily cases. That's a fucking mazzoline. That's way through the peak of where we were before. So like, people need to understand, like, okay, I get that we're tired. I get people want to go out, et cetera, but at no point have we actually done the full fuckery lockdown, stay inside your house for 2 weeks, behave your fucking selves. Nobody go out, nobody do anything. And until we are mature enough to do that and take the proper sacrifice, stop pussyfooting around the issue, then we are just going to keep getting prolonged. Other countries are not letting us in now. That's what's happening.
Yeah. And I think most people expected there to be breaches. Everybody's had a really, really tough year. If you were in my situation, for example, you haven't seen your members of your family for X amount of time and you really, really wanted to see them. There were all various different examples of where you just knew it was going to result in people breaching it. But I think for the most part, people try. I heard many cases of people making sure that they isolated in their bubbles for the weeks leading up to Christmas to make themselves not necessarily not breaking the law, but just make themselves feel a little bit more safer about the decision that they are making to breach. They keep it very, very controlled. We have to be realistic. People are going to breach, but at least they did it, I guess, if you want to argue, in a better way than the people who were just like, no masks, 500 to 600 people in an underground rave in the
Mask
UK.
off, fuck it.
Mask off, just doing their thing. And these are the people who, again, will also complain about the effects of a prolonged lockdown on our economy.
100.
These are people who are going to be directly impacted by some of the decisions that the government are definitely going to take. And then what?
100. It's mad irresponsible, man. It's mad irresponsible. I got no time for these people. Don't ask for no help. Don't ask for no sympathy. Don't ask for no medical treatment. Don't ask no hospital for nothing. You took the risk. That's how the business works, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be a risk taker, you got to take the risk.
Yeah. But anyway, enough of that. I don't want to get too preachy, but motherfuckers, please just be more smart. Stop being fucking dumb. It's really silly.
But you know what really annoys me as well? Like, and even some of my bedrooms, they annoy me with it when they're going to like these full-on like raves and shit, underground raves and shit. And they're like, yeah, but the flu did more damage than coronavirus, innit? So like,
yeah, everyone's a doctor now.
Trust. Well, not even a doctor. Everyone's a virologist and epidemiologist, double major.
Yeah.
Like, so then catch the virus, innit? That's cool, puppy. You can have that view. Think flu's worse? Catch coronavirus. Just don't ask no one for no help when you start getting battered up.
That's not how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just to say as well, like before we change the topic, like obviously our condolences go out to people who have lost people,
Obviously,
and family. during the coronavirus period.
Yep.
And it is not a joke, and it's not to be taken.
Bruv, I've got family, close family who've got post-COVID fatigue and have had it for months and are off work and are proper struggling. Like this thing is
I
not
don't
just a
think I
quick
know
flu.
about post-COVID fatigue.
So it's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
it's a
get
big
like,
thing.
well, I kind of had it after I had viral pneumonia in 2019. It wasn't COVID, it was way before, but I got a viral pneumonia, which is basically what COVID is, and it wrote me off for months as well. I was in bed for a month and I couldn't play football for another 4 or 5 afterwards. But like I said, I've got family who've got post-COVID fatigue, and this time it's basically it's akin to chronic fatigue syndrome. You're constantly out of breath, constantly out of energy, can't really do much. And so you're not actually with the virus anymore, but the virus has left longer standing effects. So like when people say, oh, it's just the fucking flu, it's not just the flu. Like there's a reason the world went into a Mazzoline dealing with this.
Yeah.
You're not smarter than the entire United Nations. No?
Yeah, for real. Fuck it. Anyway, we did like New Year's resolutions and stuff. Has anything been added to the list? Is there a new perspective that you've got coming into 2021 that you want to talk about? Do you have any epiphanies?
I just want to get back into exercising.
Yeah, facts.
I've never seen you exercise. I've known you for a decade.
Well,
So getting back into, what do you mean? What are we talking
Bro,
about?
I used to gym every day. Yeah, I did. But you won't know that because I didn't have Instagram before lockdown. Before lockdown, I was just on my Snapchat, and I would be in the gym every day when I was working. Every day.
Did you upload yourself in the gym? You're one of them, man.
Yeah. One of them, man. Yeah.
Vest pics and that.
I am one of them.
Hashtag progress.
But mine normally
Don't
be
bring
like,
that to the gram,
but
innit?
mine-
Don't
mine-
bring that to the
but-
gram, we don't need that.
but-
We might unfollow you, innit?
No, but mine,
I will
mine,
unfollow
mine
you.
typically is
TCT
like,
will unfollow you.
no, mine's typically like but my point of view in it's like just like me walking out the gym. You know what I mean? I won't, when I'm in there,
Flexing.
not even just dead night trainers, but like man done a sweat in it. So
We
like,
used to do a little one video like, darling, the gun shows.
nah, I'm not one of them,
Just
man.
stand that way.
I'm not one of them, man.
Kiss the bicep, no?
Do you know what I mean?
No. Maybe like a DM and that, yeah. But not the public thing, no. But like a progress thing for myself. But I would
Yeah.
never be out there like that.
So what? How do you reckon you're going to be able to fit? Because you got a busy schedule, bro. How do you
busy
reckon
man.
you're going to fit like?
So basically, I've decided I want to sort of join. There isn't a club for it, but I want to join like the 10 p.m. people. So basically,
that?
I want to be in bed by 10 p.m. every day.
Yeah, that's me.
this year.
I'm about that.
And I want to try and get a decent hour's sleep so I can wake up at 6 o'clock fresh. An hour. I've got like everything. All I need now is kettlebells. But I used to be a massive runner as well.
So you're going to do it all at home?
Yeah, so like I'll either run in the morning, right? And I love running. Like
I just learn new things about this bread every day,
hate
bro.
running.
I'm a
Man, I hate
I'm a
running.
Strava man, innit? Like
I did a Strava run today. It was bleak. It's the first one in 2 months. And I tore my
I'm a
hamstring.
Strava man. Like, when I had cobwebs and stuff, like when I got back into running, when everyone was in that walks and running phase at the start of lockdown 1.0, like I was doing bits.
What's your 5K time?
My 5K time is I'll normally do 4Ks, you know.
Oh, why?
Just it's easier. 'Cause I would go normally like during my break at work, innit?
Oh, okay.
But my 4K, I'll do like 4K.
Man just
and
said
like 20.
4K is easier than 5K. Yeah, no
wait,
shit, bro.
yo, I
Like,
wasn't
no,
going to put him on it, but
No, but I'm saying it's easier in terms of working it because obviously I've got a tight.
so what's your 4K time?
4K times like 21 minutes or like under that.
Okay, that's all right.
that's my
decent.
5K time.
Yeah.
You're doing 5K in 21 minutes?
Hell yeah.
You're lying.
Bro,
He's half Kenyan, bro.
bro, I'm about it. I'm
Yeah, it's
about it.
half-
Once I get into this,
but it's-
once I get into it, bro, I'm about it.
That's
Trust
pace,
me.
No,
That's
but
pace.
Abs does like he runs on the beach and that.
Yeah, you see me. Yeah, I get busy, bro. Like when I do like annual like.
You're cheating. You got
holiday
long
trips.
strides though, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That helps.
My little legs.
That helps.
They ain't going as quick
The
as
strides
yours.
help. But when I get like super fit, yeah, that's calm, bro. I could easily do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a 5K today still.
Yeah.
Did a
What was the
5K.
time? Hour.
Today was atrocious. But it's my first. I tore my hamstring like 2 months ago.
Come the fucking
Do you lot use
excuses.
Strava?
Yeah,
broke me
you Strava.
hamstring.
You can
All right,
find,
so boom, we're gonna make.
You can
yeah,
publicly.
boom, we know what
out
to do.
me
You
if
know what
want.
to do. We're gonna make a discount terribly. Yeah.
Well, running club.
A little Strava
Strava.
running club. Yeah.
5K
And
running club.
anyone listening on here, when we make that Strava club thing,
Oh,
feel
no.
free to join it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And banter us.
Yeah.
I'm at a genetic disadvantage here, bruv.
Yeah,
Why?
but the thing is, but
Why?
I feel like you're
Jews are significantly less athletic than black
That's
people.
not a thing.
If we-
You know,
if
it's,
we're
it's,
sticking
no,
to
no, no,
stereotypes.
it's a thing that scientifically as well, yeah, biologically, what we call it, yeah, if you anatomy or whatever, I'm using all the words, yeah, fucking
Science.
Black people tend to be faster runners because literally how we're built.
Yeah,
like,
bone
we
density,
got-
la.
and that white people in general have bigger calves, bigger legs and stuff, so they tend to be slower when it comes to running, but then
Okay.
they're better at other things like trekking and things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
I didn't really go into that. I was just more
He was
making
just
a
starting his excuses out.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
making
but
excuses and just going for a stereotypical cheap joke.
I really didn't want you to back him on that. Now he's got excuses.
No,
innit?
Now
but
I've got science behind me.
Now when he comes last in the Strava, he'll be like, yeah, because I'm Jewish.
That's basically why. We're funny people, innit? We're not athletes. It's not our strength.
What about you? Has there been any changes to your New Year's
the
plans?
fitness thing. So I was going to do dry January for about 4 hours this morning.
Oh shit, that starts today, doesn't
It
it?
starts today.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So I was, and then I went for a run, and I was like, "Fucking hell, I could do with the Baileys." Do you know what I mean? So then I was thinking I might do dry Feb, but there's a couple birthdays that are about during Feb, and people will be like, "Well, it's only 28 days." So then, so I might do. I might do a dry month at some point. I'm going to do less booze. I think I'm going to do less booze generally.
I've never done a dry Jan in my life, but last year, 2020, I just significantly reduced my drinking in Jan just to see what I got. You know, everyone else is doing it. I just thought, let me try it. It was great.
Yeah.
I probably drank once a week
Yeah.
max,
Yeah.
but there were weeks I didn't drink. So I probably drank like 3 or 4 times the whole of the month, and it was amazing.
I think it's just because it's been a hefty December.
Yeah.
December's always quite a hefty month. So you come out into early Jan, and you're like,
Yeah, and what you man are saying about like getting earlier sleep, getting more sleep, bruh. The combination of not drinking and getting better quality sleep, bro.
Oh, for sure.
my lord, it's
For sure,
unbelievable.
for sure.
Unbelievable. The way your brain works, everything else is just like, it's just clearer. Everything's clearer. So I recommend that 100%.
get your smart light and help you sleep.
Yeah, for real.
I'm going to be copying that after this podcast.
During the course of the Christmas holiday, I found myself on a particular app more than I expected to be.
Quietly, though, because I didn't know until recently.
Yeah, I got invited into this app in early December when we were away in Sweden. It's called Clubhouse, and I think some of our listeners may have heard of it. But essentially, it's a fairly new app. Best way to describe this app is it's like a Twitter platform, but it is totally voice. So imagine a collection of conference rooms. Imagine just like the ability to opt in and out of
Chat rooms.
which are completely
But
voice
literally chat rooms.
based. You have a bunch of moderators who start and control proceedings in the chat room, and then you have the audience, people who are in the chat room just to listen to the opinions. It has swept America, which is where where it's originating, and one of its major pulls is the fact that a lot of celebrities are on there, and they are as unadulterated, unfiltered as you could probably hope or wish for.
It's a madness in
some
there.
of your celebrities
Some of
to
the shit
be.
that they talk about there is
Some of the
madness.
things that happen on there, some of the things we've seen on there have absolutely been crazy. One of my personal favorites was a chat room which had a bunch of ladies in there as the moderators, and then a bunch of guys as the audience, and then the moderators were allowing guys onto the stage, so as moderators, and then when they were given that stage, they were asked the question, so how much money are you going to cash at me?
Yeah.
To send them money, just to send them money.
Toxic weddies, baby. We're out here.
And literally money was just being exchanged between
Maz.
strangers.
Proper Mazzoline.
And the basis for that money exchange was guy thinks girl is pretty.
She look hot.
So just sent her cash.
Hey, baby, you hot? Where you from?
What a time to be alive. So yeah, I was on that quite a bit.
Clubhouse
And
is lit.
What do you guys think of Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is lit. Some of the chat titles are absolutely ridiculous. One of my favorite ones was the whole like, is it fair for your parents to charge you rent? That was mad chat.
Yeah.
That was
Yo,
very
to me,
mad
that
chat.
just screamed boredom. Think about all the topics in the world.
I
yeah?
actually like that topic.
No, you know what? But to get to that topic, that's a very niche topic.
Yeah.
I feel like the world's just fucking bored, fam.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
bored.
What do you think about that, though? Because I paid rent from the moment. It wasn't even real rent, but like from when I got my NI card, yeah, and I had my first job, right?
How big a moment was it to feel like you was growing up when you got that NI card?
When I realized
I
it
felt like
didn't-
a big
Nah. When I realized it didn't serve as ID, I dashed that thing out the window, bro. I memorized the number and I was just like, yeah, I bet.
I felt like a big person for like half an hour, but
I thought NI was going to be like ID. I thought I could get into the clubs with this shit. And when I was like, when I found out that it had no ID on it, I was like, yeah, nah.
see you later.
No, you know what? Like my mum just taught me just the in a sense the art of saving, innit? Or like what I didn't realize, which is what I really think my mum was dope for. My first wager was like £300 a month, yeah, working weekends at like a small boutique retail shop, and it's all like Ralph and like Gant and shit, yeah, in Syracuse. Big up Revolver Boutique, my first job ever. But what my mum would do, say for example, if I get like £300 a month or 350, my mum would make me send her like £100 or something, or £70 every month. Yeah. You say it quickly in the year. That's what, like 1,200. Yeah. But my mum wasn't actually using that to contribute to anything. My mum registered me as a person for like electricity bills, but she was paying for it.
Yeah.
She only did that to equip me for like, for example, credit score and stuff like that.
Okay, wow.
For like that. But my mum actually gave me my money back after like 3. And as obviously when I got my first proper salary, when I started working in the city, I was doing the same thing. Like, and to be honest with you, even till now, obviously it doesn't go to, I don't know if she saves towards it now, but till now, I always contribute X amount.
Yeah.
And I
And
consider
she stacks
like
it for
rent.
you.
Yeah.
And she stacks it. I think now she uses it because she's older now, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm an adult now. It's different now, innit? Like I
Yeah.
understand the art of saving and shit. But
Yeah.
like I thought it was quite dope that she did that.
Yeah.
But when I started hearing about other things, like I think you might mention it about somebody who said that their parents have multiple houses and they're making them pay like market rate rent and stuff. Yeah.
That's bleak.
Market rate rent is fucking crazy.
That's
like
bleak.
if you're contributing
that's
to
tough.
the household because you are an adult and you are earning, and if you weren't in the house and you lived in your own little private accommodation or whatever, you'd be paying a substantial amount more. I just think that's par for the course. If your parents want a little bit of dollar, you should probably, as an adult, big man ting, probably be having that conversation before it's asked of you by your folks. It's when it becomes a clear abuse of power where I think it bends a few noses out of shape. The number that I was due to contribute as soon as I left university, got my first job and was on my way to sort of moving out was fair. Do you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of my salary and all of that stuff. So me putting a bit of money into the household, whether it be for the utilities or whether it just be for, you know, just for me to just be an adult, I didn't really see too much of a problem with it. And as I've said, like even leaving the house, you know, you got to do your bit. Like I think the story that isn't told, and I don't think the story that was spoken about enough in the clubhouse, is just how huge the sacrifice was by a lot of our parents, especially ones who came from, you know, where our parents came from, where, you know, maybe they had like amazing qualifications in Nigeria or parts of the Caribbean. They come here and it doesn't necessarily equate to much. They're not necessarily demanding as much money as they should. And then the platform that they've given their kids by putting them in better schools in London, which means that their earning potential is more significant than theirs ever was. And then they actually realize that by earning a great salary. I think it's just part of the, I don't know if ecosystem is the right word, but it's just part of how, it's just part of the pattern. You know what I mean? You kind of have to give back as a way of saying thank you to your parents.
Yeah.
If it's an abuse of that, if your parents want market rate rental contributions in their back pocket every
You might as well
month,
move out then.
you may as well move out. But while you're at home, you should definitely do bits.
Yeah, I threw a shit fit. I threw a shit
walked
fit.
out.
It's not going to surprise anyone, but I was quite a hot-headed 18-year-old. So I got a job and my mum was like, you should pay rent. And I was like, I disagree in the strongest possible terms. And she was like, well, I'm telling you, you have to pay rent. And I was like, man, fuck you, mum. For a proper shit fit.
Your flip flops
Like
walking
Cartman.
out.
Yeah, but proper for a shit fit. And I think I paid a few months rent and then was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. This is an injustice.
But why did you feel that way? Why did you feel like, no,
Right,
Mum?
so there's a different conversation to have when you're 18 versus when you're 25, when you come back from university and
of
you've seen
course.
the world, yeah. But I
course.
was like, I ain't paying rent to live in my own bedroom. Am I a dickhead, bruv? I've lived here my whole life.
Oh my God,
I've
that
lived
is
here my whole life. How am I going to pay rent to live somewhere I already live? That's not even moving in.
You're going to change my towels every day and my sheets, Mum.
Do you know
What am I paying?
do you know what the dickhead thing is? My mum was like, if you pay rent, I'll do the washing for you. So like that deal was on the table, bruv. That deal was on the table. And she was actually, later turned out that she was going to do what your mum did, Zev. She was going to stack the P and give it back. So a couple years later, like, after I left one job, got another, I got a decent little pay rise. She was like, "You're an idiot. If you just paid me rent this entire time, what you're on now, like you could afford a house." And I was like, "Yeah, but
Got him.
But yeah, I was like, "Yeah, but I've got experience.
Think about it.
I've got experience instead, and that's
for
what
real.
counts." No, I threw a bitch fit and shit the bed and moved out. So like, Mumsy was entirely right. And then just to reinforce the message that there's no turning back, she sold the house and moved to the other end of the country.
Love it.
So
She's on crud, innit?
she don't fuck about. Mummy don't fuck about.
100%.
Try doing your laundry now, bitch.
Yeah, but in fact, you know what? I still don't do my own laundry.
Who does it? Who does it?
Man like Steve, shout out Hell Village Cleaning.
That's crazy.
Well, he comes in, picks it up.
Yeah.
That's
Drives to the
disgusting.
van and just drop it downstairs.
That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah, it's really
That's
bad.
disgusting behaviour.
You know, I do my laundry, yeah.
I do
But I
mine.
can't lie to you, yeah. Doing lockdown, you know what it is? I didn't realize like how many fucking boxes I get through, fam.
Yeah.
Like, fam.
I can't do
obviously, I
laundry,
wake
man.
up, shower, and that. Do my thing at work, and then afterwards I might go for like a little run. Or I'm the type of person, I take like 2 showers a day. Innit?
Yeah.
So then that's another boxes, isn't it? So then it's like freaking out. Either I buy more boxes, but then experience the same thing later.
I took that approach.
But then I'll experience the same
Imagine
thing.
buying more boxes just because you don't want to do laundry.
I've done that a few
bro.
times. I've done
Bro,
that a few
listen,
times.
What is going on?
Listen,
I've done that a few times.
literally.
And socks as well. Socks, the other one I've bought. I've got so many pairs of socks.
I've got so many socks, But the thing is, is either I do that, or basically I found myself into a bad habit, and women don't judge me. But like sometimes, especially the dark wash, all my boxes are grey and black in it. Like pick up Uniqlo in it.
Yeah.
And then basically
Always.
And but the thing is, I'll typically know I need to do a wash, when I'm like going to my drawer and I see 2 boxes left.
Panic.
You get it?
Panic stations.
But
And the
it's
ones and the
lazy.
two that are left are always the ones that you left deliberately
They
to
were
the end.
also
And it's
the
just-
last
they're
two
actually-
last
yeah.
time you ran out of boxes.
Bro,
At the back of the shelf thing. So when
literally,
you wash them, you push everything else.
Bro, these Supreme boxes,
Oh, bro, allow it, man.
Listen, I'll tell you what, these Supreme boxes,
These
Supreme boxes.
cost more than my whole fit.
No,
bro.
they're not. That's Supreme boxes are actually cheap, but like they're like the least expensive thing on the website.
How
It's
much?
always there.
Yeah, no, how
Challenge.
much?
You get like four in a pack for like £18. So you know it yourself, bro. Supreme actually isn't expensive.
That's
It's a
quite cheap.
resale.
Supreme don't do boxer shorts, so I don't even want to talk about
Yeah,
it.
no.
They do boxer briefs.
do briefs
so
only.
I will not be partaking.
No.
This is a conversation I'm not
Listen,
engaging in.
listen, but these are
Move
my
on.
reserves. You know why?
Okay.
Because they're too loose, fam. They're not actually. They're like a quasi. There's like
Now you're talking.
It's like a quasi boxer brief.
Oh, 4 for 18,
boxer
yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah, they sounded right.
Boxer
that.
brief, boxer shorts. Yeah,
Uniqlo numbers.
they're loose, fam. I'm
How
not.
does it
I'm
feel
not
down
really
there?
brief, huh?
How does it feel down there? All
Fam,
like
I feel
airy and
naked. I feel
ventilated.
naked.
Breathable. You can just jiggle.
Yeah, you
I
know,
feel
like
naked.
it?
I might as well just go commando.
That's mad, bro.
Yeah, to get this back on track, I think I ironed a shirt in 2012 and was like, this isn't for me.
I love ironing, lads.
Oh, my days.
Like, I
Bro.
fucking love ironing. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Nah,
my
I know
whole,
you do.
It's
I've
my
been,
whole
I've been
shit.
on holiday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro!
I love
watching
ironing, bro.
I tell you what, yeah.
That's
like
a mad
that's a
chat.
fine
Who the
art.
fuck likes ironing, bro?
It's amazing.
It's worse than
Have
washing
you ever
the dishes.
like perfectly ironed a shirt?
No, but
It's
Steve
litty,
has.
bruv. So getting it back on track, Clubhouse. Do you mind?
How do you get there?
I love it. The
Fuck
range.
those.
What do you think this app's going?
But this app's going to be huge.
You
man.
reckon?
I think it's going to be enormous.
I think it's gonna be like the next Zoom.
Okay.
Or it's like a social media Zoom.
I
What's
disagree.
going to happen when it becomes a place that is filled with the same level of vitriol, abuse, bullying, etc., that Twitter, Instagram, and all these other places?
I don't think
got?
it will though, because it's a lot more self-regulatory than any of those other platforms. Like there are moderators
everybody's on
within,
cruds.
within each chat.
But if everybody's on it, then like
So either so people are on crud, but either the context of the room allows crud, or people get removed from the chat by the moderators.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by it's a lot more self-regulated.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to settle itself as a millennial/Gen X TikTok.
okay,
Whereas Gen Z is TikTok for kids with attention spans having grown up on Adderall and ADHD in the US, right? Everything's 6 seconds long and they can't actually focus on anything more. But like where people are older, then people want to engage in interesting conversations.
see, do you not think they've missed a trick then by making it invite only for the time being? Because listeners, in order to be on Clubhouse, you have to be invited by somebody who is already on Clubhouse, and they typically only have one invite. So it's a it still remains quite a close, tight network for the time being.
Not
Do you not
anymore
think
though,
that
'cause
they?
Everyone's on it. No, I think
everyone's on it. Now,
I think it's a very good growth marketing strategy. Like obviously they'll get to a saturation point where they'll just make it open, and then those who were there before, so they may have extra features or whatever. But for the moment, it keeps people talking about Clubhouse, and like people share content with someone, be like, where was that? Oh, it was on Clubhouse. Can I get it? How do I sign up? You need to be invited. I've already used it. Then people go and ask someone else, do you have a Clubhouse invite? They say, what's Clubhouse? Boom. Now 2 people know about Clubhouse. They go and ask someone. They go and ask someone. And it's a very good viral
But then you end up
marketing
with
strategy.
And it's
then you
verbal,
but then you
isn't
end
it?
up with the exact same market that's on Twitter and Instagram on Clubhouse.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is,
can make the same point about Instagram and TikTok.
Typically, the two don't match. You've typically got like TikTok users and Instagram users. There's literally a fight for an audience
I
right now.
disagree. I think people will use both. I think youngsters use both.
I think youngsters use TikTok. I reckon our generation and up use Instagram and lesser TikTok. But I think the younger generation use TikTok
I
over
think youngsters were
Instagram.
already on Instagram by the time TikTok came out.
Youngers being
Like I would say 14 to 19, 14 to
I
21.
reckon they were on Snap and TikTok, bro.
Snap maybe. Snap's
Yeah.
one I know nothing about. I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm
me
totally
either,
ignorant to
but
that.
yeah, I think they were on Snap and TikTok. I don't think you see. I bet not that I'm looking, but like you don't see like really young people on Instagram. They're on Glitch, or Twitch, sorry, not glitch. Twitch, YouTube,
Twitch is one I don't
and
get.
TikTok. Do you know
Twitch is
what
one
I
I don't
mean?
get.
Yeah. Just
The whole
like
live
recording
stream.
themselves doing shit.
I would say
it's
they have
weird.
a much more, like my little cousins and stuff, they approach YouTube differently to how I approach
Oh,
YouTube.
100%.
sure.
So like I approach YouTube just based purely on like reviews or documentaries, or if I'm stuck on something that I'm actually trying to build.
But
yeah?
what does
But then-
what do they use? Do they use Instagram at all? How old are they? And what
they're like
social media?
the range, I would say, for my little brother, he's about 12. I would say even younger. My little sister's 8 or 9, I think. But like, I would say 9 to about 17. They look at YouTube, like they approach YouTube like social media.
Yeah.
So like they would follow their friends' YouTube channels. They will comment on the YouTube channels.
Yeah.
They'll give it likes. And as I'm telling you these sort of parameters, it sounds very much similar to how we approach Instagram.
Yeah, but do they? I guess my point is, on the older end of that spectrum, so let's say from like 12 to 17, do they have Instagram accounts?
Yeah, but they're not that active. Like my
Yeah,
little
I
brother.
reckon. See, that's what I think as well. I reckon
My little
it's-
brother couldn't really care less about his
Instagram
He
account.
does kick ups on his Instagram, and then that's it. He doesn't really care like that.
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
does he
yeah.
use?
So, yeah.
That's the thing. So he's more, to be honest, he's more of a gamer.
So it's like Twitch,
There's
YouTube.
Twitch and YouTube.
Twitch, YouTube, PS, Fortnite.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, but like YouTube, he'll go on YouTube a lot, or like TikTok. They love a TikTok. Like whenever
Yeah.
I'm
So
at,
it's TikTok.
whenever I'm at my dad's house, they're like teaching me the latest challenge.
But the thing about, as far as I'm aware, the thing about TikTok is that it's not a place to chat to people. Like you upload your videos and you get likes and shit, but nobody like there's no
you
TikTok
do.
DMs,
You do,
right?
I think it's got all the.
I've got a dummy TikTok account. Yeah.
And so what you can move
Like,
into
so-
DMs
so-
like
so
Instagram, like Twitter,
some people are,
like
some
Facebook.
people are like,
Yeah.
exactly. So I've got a dummy TikTok account for like a couple of people who have it, and they send me funny shit. Like I literally don't use it. I don't post anything, nothing. But you can double like, you can comment. You
Yeah,
can
okay, but
you can
people don't keep lists of contacts that they stay in regular chats with. Like there are people that I
Dunno.
speak to on Instagram as frequently as I would do on WhatsApp, for example. That's the reason why YouTube, as much as a content creation or curation platform, it's not a social network, right? People don't chat to each other on YouTube. I don't think people chat to each other on
No, they
TikTok.
do. They do.
People do chat to each other on TikTok.
What, through the comment section, or is there like a DM
No, there's DM.
on YouTube?
No,
on YouTube, there's
on
messages.
TikTok.
Yeah, there's
No, people
inbox
don't
on-
chat to each other on YouTube.
on
though.
YouTube. They do, bro. Like honestly,
real?
like for example, I watch a lot of sneaker reviews, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like watching it. It's therapeutic for me.
Okay.
But like sometimes you'll see conversation going in the DMs. I'll in the DMs in the comment section. But then I'll also sometimes, if I really want to know about sizing on a pair of sneakers, whatever, I can private message the YouTuber who's done it. That's as far as I go with it. But I'm sure.
Sure.
that-
So you're private, but you're messaging the content creator in that case. Like
yeah.
you wouldn't keep up with your pals, you wouldn't keep up with your boys, or you wouldn't slide into a girl's DMs on YouTube, right? That's not
No,
what the
but there might
platform's
be
for.
there might be a function for that.
Yeah, maybe.
But we just don't know it. Like,
Interesting,
and we're not
interesting.
that bothered to.
Interesting.
I don't know.
to
So
look
you
into it.
reckon, just to summarize, you reckon that Clubhouse is here to stay. You reckon that Clubhouse is here to stay. I personally think that when the floodgates are open, everybody can join. It's less of an attractive, safe space for celebrities, etc., or highly profile people to vent and to curate and create. I reckon the pull is going to go, and yes, it will be a platform to add to the other ones, but I don't think its reach will hit any massive heights, especially with WhatsApp, Twitter, and all of these companies basically with the resource and the ability to create a similar type of competitor product basically overnight.
Well, so what they'll end up doing is they'll probably just buy a Clubhouse, which is how most of these things work. But
why would you? Why would you pay in the billions for a new product when you could literally you've already got your target audience? Twitter already has.
So same reason as any other acquisition, and that the value is in the user base and that it exists on Clubhouse already, right? There is already a culture.
But as
on
you
the app.
said, that the Clubhouse conversations usually spill onto Twitter anyway. So there's that duality. People already have both accounts. So if you're Twitter, you probably already have a higher proportion of the user base that's currently on Clubhouse already. So why not just build it yourself?
So tweets spill out from Clubhouse because people's Twitter followers aren't all on Clubhouse because it's still exclusive at the moment, right? But there's also a different medium of conversation as opposed to actually having a live chat with someone.
Yeah.
And the value of the content is not only the fact that you've got lots of followers, the value of the content is that it's a live discussion. People can make voice recordings of this stuff. It's like having a window into people's DMs. When you see two celebrities who are popping off about a topic, that creates controversy. Like there's already been stories that have made it into popular culture, current events and news.
Great segue, Johnny.
We're
We're getting on to one next.
Yeah, so like that is this app's value, and also, and we're probably going to touch into this, but also it's pretty clear, it shouldn't be a controversial topic, that there is a dominant demographic on Clubhouse. It's a very majority Black American user base at the moment. So like when you say it hasn't blown much wider at the moment, it's probably because the majority of people inviting their friends on Clubhouse, at least to start with, were Black Americans. That seems to be the dominant user base, right? So maybe when it expands, now that you lot have let a white boy into the club, I'm just going to start inviting bare white people, and maybe we'll come and take it over. But for now, it's like
I ain't heard that one before.
I was going to say, do you know what, RT? I was going to say we'll come and colonize the app, but I thought it's like it's like
you said it without saying it. To be fair, mate.
It's a nice fireside. We're having a nice fireside chat. We're not on crud today. Do you know? we're not on crud today. But anyway, the point is that it's so like I think it's here to stay. I think that it's going to be the millennial Gen Gen X platform for a more substantive or more live and deeper type of discussion than you are able to have on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah. There was also a very, very interesting conversation which relates to somebody who we mentioned on our last episode. So Route 73's very own Any, UK rapper, Southeast London, made a song called Peng Black Girls, and this song is about the empowerment and the uplifting of Black women, and she then was lucky enough to have some interest from Georgia Smith, who wanted to do the remix for Peng Black Girls. And the way that manifested itself, as we did in the new music section of the last episode, was a performance of the song on a Berlin-based music platform called Colors. And the success of this has been huge. The remix itself has actually got more views than the original, but it's caused quite a bit of controversy because Georgia Smith is mixed race. So I was on Clubhouse, and it turns out I was there in the aftermath of a much bigger debate, but there was a Clubhouse room, and essentially it was about a group of women who felt, or a group of people, darker skinned people who felt as though Any had missed a trick and Any had made a big mistake by getting Georgia Smith on a remix as a mixed race person, speaking on the ills and the and some of the disadvantages of being dark skinned. And for added context, the original version of Peng Black Girls had a chorus, or the hook, sang by another female artist called Amia Brave, who's very, very talented. And in the remix, she was taken off. So it just became Any and Georgia Smith. And if you saw the Colours video on YouTube, obviously Georgia Smith is looking very, very good. And there was a lot of talk about, her curves, et cetera, how great she looked. And it almost, the way it was marketed in many... Boy, did she look good, by the way. Yeah, she looked fantastic. Jesus. But Amaya Brave was taken off the hook. Georgia Smith's verse is very, very good. It's in my personal opinion, it actually adds to the song very, very well. But in this clubroom chat, it became a huge, huge debate about colorism. And a lot of women felt as though Any made a massive mistake by bringing in a mixed race person to talk about the plight of darker skinned women, because obviously there is a few things in there. Obviously being mixed race, you benefit more from the industry or the music industry or corporate world's attitudes towards colorism. There's obviously pretty privilege in there. There's a whole bunch of things in there that come in to make this a much wider and much more difficult conversation than maybe meets the eye. Any felt the need, she obviously caught wind of this conversation, and she felt the need to go into this club room, chat house, and defend it herself, of which I've got a clip of right now.
That's the first couple lines of the song. There's Peng Black Girls in my area code, dark skin, light skin, medium zone. There's always been a division amongst Black people. I've seen it and I hate it. And that's what also inspired those first lyrics of the song, which is why I wrote that section. So coming on now, I've had the song for a while, it's moving. I dropped my first song in April. So I'm an unknown artist. I dropped my first song. People took interest. Now, a particular person heard this song, and somehow Georgia heard the songs. She heard two versions of the song. She heard the original, and she heard the remix, which just had my verse on it. She heard what I was saying. She was inspired as an artist, because we're musicians, we make music, we're creating art. And she wrote her words. I heard her words, and I said, shit, man, she's spitting bars. She's saying some shit. She's not saying some random stuff. She came back, she was inspired, and she wrote something beautiful. And then that's where we went from there. I understand I understand from outside now, looking at it, how it can look weird, seeing that, okay, Amia was on the original and there's a light-skinned girl on the remix. But for me, it was just art. It was a beautiful moment. I shared such beautiful moments creating the songs with both the artists. So it's like, to see this narrative spilled everywhere, it's just very dumb and it's annoying and it's embarrassing because it's like, I understand there's a big issue in colorism. I'm not negating that. I know that. I'm a dark-skinned woman. But like, to form a narrative, uneducated narratives on a song that's meant to be positive, that's meant to bring everyone together, it's been like kind of disgusting to see and disheartening.
So yeah, that was Annie as she slid into the Clubhouse chat room to give her view. And as I mentioned, this caused quite a bit of a debate. It went on for hours and hours and hours. There was information about how the collaboration came to play. There was interviews that happened with Amia Brave shortly after, and apparently Amia Brave didn't have a great idea about the remix coming together, and she didn't know that she wasn't going to be on the remix. And obviously she had some questions as to why she, as an unsigned independent artist, couldn't have some of that shine as well. But I wanted to put this to you guys. What do you reckon?
Like, to be honest with you, I never knew the original. Like, I only knew the remix like, when I was chilling at my bedroom's house and he put it on. And I thought it was a dope song, right? I did also, at first, I didn't think anything of it because her first lines were...
she talks about the spectrum,
dark skin and light skin. And George Smith is what I would consider a light skinned girl. I know she's mixed race, but you know how it is. Like, I would consider a mixed race person more, like I would consider them as a black person. Not just me, just society, innit? What I didn't know is that there was an original and there's another girl on there. From the outside looking in, it does look like, okay, big artist on there. Someone's got to go. But at the same time, I sort of understand her perspective. Like, if I was an upcoming artist and a big artist heard my song and wanted to jump on it, but the song's maximum 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes long, then push comes to shove, I will have that conversation, innit? Because it's the benefit of my career.
Yeah.
I see both sides of it. I do get one side. One side's more deep than the other.
I mean, from an artist perspective, before we jump into Johnny, from an artist perspective, just to answer one of them things, don't tell me who I can and can't put on my track. First and foremost, my name is Ennie. This is my song. I asked Amia Brave to be on the song because I rate her. I can also make the decision that Amia Brave isn't going to be on the remix and I want Georgia Smith. I'm not saying that that's what happened because I'm sure there's a management element on this, as you alluded to, and Georgia Smith is a global fucking superstar at this point, right? Okay, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. But first and foremost, as an artist, which I am as well, don't tell me who I can and cannot put on my track.
For sure.
Sorry, that's all I wanted to say because that triggers something in me.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, Matt, I could just hear, you can hear the fucking pain in Annie's voice. And they think as an artist, like, boom, here she is, young girl, comes out with a song that blows up.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like before we get into the colorism angle of it, her big project's blowing up. She got a global superstar, wants to make a remix of it. She's gone out to Berlin to do her colours. But this should be like the most joyous time of her life.
100%.
This is it. She made it.
Yeah.
Mummy's made it. Like, shit,
100%.
she's made it. And then there's all this negative energy. So that's the first bit that I don't like. On the second bit, it's deeply ironic that she's been attacked for colorism when literally the song's called Paying Black Girls.
Yeah.
And the first fucking line is about the different shades of paying black girls. Yeah. So the idea that she as an artist isn't cognizant to it or doesn't address it, also ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also ridiculous. Thirdly, you end up getting, and again, I appreciate that I'm talking here as like an outsider or whatever, because I'm very not black, but like, what shade of black artist would have been acceptable for a remix? Like, should she, like, if, say, Aaliyah was alive, would Aaliyah be all right to invite? Onto it, or
there's
is she
definitely a personal... You're touching on a thing that I think is probably the untold part of this, is that there is a hate towards Georgia Smith.
Or
but
like,
you know
or like
what?
is Lauren...
Aaliyah would have been accepted because Aaliyah was loved.
Is Lauryn Hill the right...
You're going far out of the UK. Like, in terms of London artists who've been on there, I do think if I was to pick anyone, I was having this conversation with my boy, if I was to pick anyone to be on that track on the remix, more likely I would have picked somebody like Ray Black.
Okay.
But why? Because she's black?
No. Yeah. One. If I was doing it in a perspective, from his perspective, like if I was to look at it from that angle.
Yeah.
But also, I just feel like she has more of a soulful voice for that track. She could have done more bits of it. You know what I mean?
I can't deal with people who aren't the artists making the art, who are dictating where the art should go. It's all well and good reeling off a number of dark-skinned rappers and singers in this country who you feel would have complimented the track, but Annie didn't elect Georgia Smith. I think she said it herself.
But you heard how it says. She came up with a track. Georgia Smith got in touch with her.
Yeah, Georgia Smith liked it. She got in touch with her.
Like, can you imagine the fuckery of like telling an artist, an unsigned upcoming artist, Georgia Smith wants to get on your track, and what she's meant to be like, do do you know what? You are a bit too light skinned for this song.
You know what I mean?
Like, how fucked is that, bruv? And like, you can hear the pain in this girl's voice, bruv.
Imagine if Dua Lipa hollered at her and was like, "Yo, I want to get on this Plain Black Girls remix." Like Britney would be like,
Britney Spears was like, let me jump onto this Plain Black Girl song. Like Miley Cyrus was like, let me jump onto this Plain Black Girl.
"Let me jump on that Plain Black Girl, Annie."
Do you know? Like then there's
on,
a debate.
Annie. Goddamn.
But like ultimately, like if we are going to get deeper and deeper into the concept of colorism, like. Okay, maybe Georgia Smith has advantages from being fucking Peng.
Yeah.
But like...
She's very Peng, by the way.
But like within the context of colorism, like Georgia Smith isn't white.
Yeah.
Like she's
been on record, by the way. She's got an interview. I think one of her most watched interviews on YouTube is with Julia Adenuga, where she was basically talking about being the darkest person in a majority white school growing up. I think she's from Walsall.
Yeah.
And how, you know, they were skinny, white, blonde with straight hair, and then she had like extensions in her hair, and sometimes that turned into a little bit of an afro or whatever it may be, and she got teased about that all the
and
time.
Her body
like,
as well.
Yeah, and her body or whatever, and exactly. And you know, it begs a question. Like, I think ultimately, when it comes to pretty privilege, when it comes to colorism and all of these things, I understand that it's a very, very serious conversation that we cannot take for granted. Like,
for real.
Like, dark-skinned women are the most shat-on demographic in all of the world, and I think that's continually perpetuated through the media, in the corporate world, and so on and so forth. However, there comes a point where we have to say that we can't keep turning away allies when we're having these conversations and we're looking for support. And I think Georgia Smith is essentially saying, by wanting to be on a song like this, and through the lyrics that she spat, that she is an ally and that she wants to see change for black women across the fucking colour spectrum. But yet she's still being turned away. And is that because Georgia Smith is not liked and has done something that, I don't know.
I don't get it. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, people will have their reasons,
Like,
but
I'm
you know
hearing
what it's
yeah.
like. It's like the trial of public opinion at the end of the day. Like, we all know people who are loved, the unproblematic, unbothered, like just universally loved artists in the UK. Even if they're on some fuckery, even if they've done mad things, like, people love them. And then there are a bunch of artists who just aren't afforded that luxury, so they have to work extra hard, make exceptional music to be considered likable in the slightest. And I feel like, even though I don't think Georgia Smith's music is like 10/10, I do feel like she doesn't necessarily benefit from having the public on her side. And I think this is an example of that, for sure. We both know men and women who are Georgia Smith's complexion and have parents that are like as dark as me and Zav.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So imagine someone telling you you're not black enough when really and truly, like, you've had no say in your complexion.
Yeah.
You're just light.
Yeah.
But someone saying because you are light, we're going to negate your view on what it means to be black and the struggles of a black woman when you decide to write about it. It's a bit insane, like, these fights that we're picking.
You get on a song, you identify a song that promotes the beauty of all shades, or particularly dark-skinned black women, and then you're told, like, but you're not helping the cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not even being an ally because you're too light.
Yeah.
And
like,
I just think that's mad chat. And again, for me, it goes back to any fucking hell. She's made it. She's made a banging track, and like a lot of the conversations been like, oh, why is Georgia Smith on all the thumbnails on YouTube? Because she's fucking famous, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what makes people click onto the video. It's how that's like the basic concept of marketing.
It's views and it streams,
the basic concept
That's where
of
we are
marketing.
now, exactly.
Like, why is, like, when Rick Ross came out with his track 15 years ago with Drake on it, like, why was Drake not on the thumbnail? Because no one knew who the fuck Drake was. Rick Ross was the big draw, so that's people watch the video. That's how this game works. Yeah. Like,
Wait. No, didn't Drake come before Ross?
No.
what?
What?
Rick
No, he
Ross came
didn't.
first.
No, he did. No,
This
you're
is-
right.
this is straight fanboy chat right
You
now.
can't say anything about Drake around this
But
band.
Drake's been around forever.
See, he's the best rapper ever. Listen, I'm waiting for Certified Lover Boy comes out in like 2 days.
So you keep telling us.
There's
2 days?
5
2 days, something like that.
four episodes it's taken.
Comes in like Jan the 4th.
This is horrible.
But no, I'm saying I think you're right. And I know you're right. Because I remember listening to Push It to the Limit. That was way
we're still
before.
on Drake and Rick Ross. I thought we were back on any. No, let's talk about Drake more.
No,
The one thing we don't do on this podcast enough is talk about Drake.
No,
to be
you're
fair.
right. Because I think Push the Limit came out when I was like
I've got the video here.
a young boy.
Let's not.
Yeah.
I didn't know it wasn't an invite. I'm just saying I've got the video.
No, but like, I don't know, man. It's really disheartening, and she said that as well. There are so many battles out there that we have to fight as black people without the infighting.
For sure.
Like, Black as Fuck is a show on Netflix which is made by Kenya Barris, who did Grown-ish, Black-ish, etc., etc. When he made this show Black as Fuck, which is based around his family's life, he's got 6 kids, etc., in real life, and became a massive superstar seemingly overnight with a few really successful sitcoms. He put together a cast, one of which was Rashida Jones, daughter of Quincy Jones, as his wife. And like the fact that he had a show called Black as Fuck,
Was she
and
too
his
light?
kids, yeah, exactly, and his kids were fairly light. And his wife was very, very light because obviously Quincy Jones was actually quite light in complexion, and his mum and her mum, was a white woman. That became an argument as well. Like, how dare he put a name on this, Black as Fuck, but have a whiter than white or a lighter than light wife? And it becomes fairly exhausting. Genuinely, as a black person, it becomes fairly exhausting having these conversations. And linking it to Clubhouse, I feel like this is going to be another vessel. This is going to be another mechanism by which angry people get angrier, and stupid conversations which hold us back continually perpetuate and make us look mad. And for that very reason, I'm going to find myself on it less because I need to preserve my energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've got quite bored of it. I'm not sure if I actually got to the bottom of it, but I don't think you can actually deactivate the account. Like, I can't find an option
On Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So before
That's mad. He's already looked for the deactivate.
No, but do you notice it? So basically, I was on Clubhouse for like 2 days. The first day, I was like, okay, banner. Second, I was like, okay, let me start listening to some real shit, and I did. But I'm just also surrounded by just nonsense chats.
Oh, the G-Wagon's a girl's car, man. Listen,
That's mad
listen,
chat.
if I was to get one of them
Well, okay, why is it a girl's car? I wasn't on the stand.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
why is it a girl's car?
oh, it just looks girly, innit? Like, if I was to get something,
you mad?
I'll get the Bentayga, innit?
This and that. Shut up, man.
That
saw a
guy's
chat
got
room.
a focus, bruv.
I saw a
You know what I mean, when I saw things like that, I was just like, bro, like
dumb chat.
our
Yeah.
generation, fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw a
the things
Clubhouse
that-
room that was called All Black Women Shit in Bed.
People are bored.
was like-
Literally,
I see another one say, why do
like-
black people hate to see other black people succeed?
Oh, yeah, Meek Mill ran mad in
Yeah.
that one. He made himself look fucking crazy in that one,
it's,
but yeah.
it does feel like it's at the moment it's a bit of a forum for internal conflict.
Yeah. And
Like,
I'm just
and
not
I
on it,
understand,
bro.
like, black people have got a lot of
Yeah.
shit to deal with, but
it is, but it's just a lot, man. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, so I tried to deactivate it. So like, I removed my picture, I removed my details on there, and then we spoke about. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. I genuinely didn't realize that Abs was on Clubhouse. And then obviously I invited you, and okay, cool. Maybe we can actually change the narrative for ourselves. You know,
We're going to be on that thing for sure for positive
you know
use,
what I
but I'm not going to be. I don't think I can be a regular frequenter. Like, you can definitely look forward to like some This Good and Terribly Clubhouse chats. You know, if people are interested in talking, we're just going to be kicking the shit like we always do. We're going to do that. But I actually wanted to talk about something that I don't think I have heard enough about on any form of podcast or interview. Is colorism actually as it pertains to like white people, and whether or not colorism actually exists in any form within white culture.
Yeah, so I don't want to get. So I'm aware that I am quite diatribe-y. So I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet. But it's
please.
an answer on a topic that I think requires a lot of effort. So first thing I will say is that colorism is very, very real within Latino culture.
Yeah.
Like there are Latinos across the color spectrum to a much wider extent than there are
100%.
in black culture by definition.
100%.
Like, people look at me and have no idea that I'm half Latino. You wouldn't look at my dad and think that he was particularly Latino.
Yeah.
And then you have Latinos, take a very generic example, Davinson Sanchez, who's as black as you two
Yeah,
boys,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like as a people, we are extremely
Yerimina.
Jerimina, who are extremely multicolored, but within that context, is colorism prevalent within Latino country? Yeah, fuck yeah, it is. It's awful. It's awful. And like, as a joke amongst Latinos, it probably works with any race, but there's no one as racist as an immigrant. Like, the way that white Latinos speak about darker skinned Latinos is fucking awful. And something I've alluded to in the past about like how Argentinians see themselves as
Yeah, you
superior
mentioned
within
that.
South America. It's because they're all white Italians or Germans, right? And so within Latino culture, yes, it exists. Within white culture, so like I've got a view, and this is where it gets potentially quite fucked, or it can sound fucked without context, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's not something that I believe, but I believe it's the dominant subconscious narrative, and it's when you live in a society, particularly if you live in the West, where the perceived default or the propagandized position is that your race is the known, the default, or the superior, then being white is kind of just enough. And people like Georgia Smith will be seen as not white predominantly, or like my auntie, for example. So my grandma's black as you two. My aunts and uncles were light skin. Well, probably more mixed race. I wouldn't say light skin, more mixed race. Grew up in Leeds in the 70s and 80s, and they used to get called Bombay mix. The point is that they were not white. they weren't white. Okay, so when you talk about colorism in white people, like, do white people attract another white people because of the color of their skin? No, I don't think so. Where I think that there are internal conflicts among the white community, whatever you call it, would be more along cultural lines.
Yeah.
So when you get Brits who look down on Romanians and Bulgarians coming here, or Polacks coming here, it's not because that they are darker, in the example of Romanians, Bulgarians. It's more because they see them as less enlightened, less educated, less cultured countries. And so, like, would you have white people looking down on Greeks because they've got a better tan? Like, no, probably not. But they would just see them as coming from an economically poor country.
Yeah.
And they'd even ridiculously make the example that, like, the Greeks are less cultured than the British, which is just fucking bizarre. But anyway, is there colorism within white people? I don't think it expresses itself as colorism as such. It's more cultural superiority. Yeah. And so the closest parallel to this within black culture would be how Africans talk down on Caribbeans for being uneducated. Yeah. Or not going to school, being uncultured, etc., etc. So colorism within the white community, again, if you already see yourself as the dominant race, or you're propagandized to be the default, then as long as you're white, it's all right, right?
Yeah. And we see that in Asian culture as well, where basically complexion is basically king in certain Asian cultures.
People lighten their skin tones.
100%, and it's all about as well in parts of African culture as well. If you go to like places in even places like Southern Europe,
right?
Skin complexion is directly linked to your occupation. Like jobs that are outdoors are more associated to the poor, hence their dark skin, and that's obviously easily tangible through their skin complexion because they're working out in the sun, their darker complexions, etc., etc. So it's all across the board. But I was really interested from a white perspective. So thanks for that, Johnny. That was nice.
Got deep.
Clubhouse, man. If you get an invite, just
jump
dip
on.
in,
It's jokes, isn't it? It's jokes
dip
for an
in,
evening or
dip
two.
in. Dip in. When you've got nothing else going on for a couple of hours, you can go into a chat room and then use your phone for all other things as well while the audio's playing, which is quite useful. Yeah. So it is quite good. And
there's also bare salty Arsenal fans talking shit, which
there's
is
a really
so
and we don't want to shit on it. There's some really, really good chat rooms in there, but
you know one thing I don't like about it, but I find the jokes is that I'll just go on Clubhouse and I'll just see like some of my bedrooms just in the wildest title chat site. Like
Toxic Wetties, baby.
What was the one you were in, Johnny, yesterday?
That was the one, Toxic Wetties.
Toxic Wetties.
So you just literally, I had to.
We invited Johnny. Well, Zavi sent the invitation to Johnny yesterday.
Within
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
The chat room that Johnny was
in
there, somehow was called.
And Johnny's all messages. Hey, this is lit, fam. This is lit. This is lit.
I was £200 down within 5 minutes, man.
Cash out, baby.
Fuck clap. But that's basically what it is. Basically, so the girls be like, okay, if you don't, I'm gonna open up to speak. But if you ain't ready to send money, don't nominate yourself. You better have Cash App ready. It's a minimum $200. And you can get my
Why does Johnny not catch the same accent heat that I catch?
Because my accent's a 10-10, bro.
Because I like Johnny.
I guess that makes sense. 2020 was a challenging year for all of us. Happy to see the back of that motherfucker. Don't think 2021, especially at the first half of this year, is going to be much different. However, there are definitely some things that we want to see left in that bomber clot that we know as 2020. Xavi, you brought up this topic, so I want you to run with the first one.
Recapping.
Top of the list.
Boxer briefs.
Top at list.
Boxer briefs need to stay their ass in 2020.
First is boxer briefs. Second is planting.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some sort of like social services podcast like policy.
Are you feeling abused?
I'm feeling so abused.
He wants social services.
I am so sensitive. So sensitive right now. Alexander McQueen platform, whatever.
Ooh.
They need to fucking go. Yeah,
I don't mind them,
bro. They need to go, bro.
When they're like new and like a girl who is about like I don't know, no taller than like 5'6" is rocking them things and they look clean. They look mean mugging, bro.
Okay, cool. Can I just say, boys, just fucking leave that shit alone, bro.
Boys with the painted on skinny jeans and the Alexander McQueens.
Yeah, that needs to be left.
So
like, what do you call it? Jordan Shore or only
both.
And also,
same shit.
I'm an advocate on this.
What accent was that? What accent was that?
No, it was you.
No, yeah.
We're about to pause the show to hear out Richard's.
What accent was that?
We are accent. It was Spanish.
Go on.
We are accent. Huh? It's English, but we are accent. That's what he said.
He sounds like he's Igbo, bro.
He said It's English, but we are accent.
It's English.
That's
it's
Spanish,
It's
bro.
English.
I'm just copying him. It was one of the episodes. He said,
But we
it's-
are accent.
it's English,
Okay,
but we are
Hefe.
accent.
Okay,
It's
Hefe.
English, but we are accent.
But I think Alexander McQueen.
I mean, that's got to be at least a 4 out of 10.
You don't have the salsa, papi.
I have the salsa and the jollof
My salsa.
I'm the
My
package.
salsa.
and the plantain.
And the planted.
Listen, banana.
Yeah, so Alexander
what else?
McQueen.
Alexander McQueen's on guys. Guys, stop wearing Jordan 1 mids. And to be honest, girls try and refrain from it as well. It's not cool. You're
I really
basically-
hate this conversation.
You're basically getting like the B-Tech version. The silhouette's different. You're not cool. You're not a hype beast. But we'll get back to that one later on. And Dubai.
Well, we're
please.
leaving Dubai behind.
Listen, Dubai needs to calm down.
What's your problem with Dubai?
Dubai's
Dubai
basically
down to you.
like Dubai's basically like the equivalent to Benidorm, yeah. So basically,
Dubai is the black Benidorm.
yeah, basically, listen,
it's
I've
become-
been to Dubai like 3 or 4 times, yeah. But I went like before these ages.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So my sister worked in Qatar
Oh yeah, of course.
for like many years.
Shout
So
out Tash.
whenever we'll go and shout out Tash.
One more time.
Shout out Tash. English, please, English. I'm fighting the English. Yeah, so I would typically go over to see her, and then we might make a pit stop, and we do. And I think through her expatriate community over in Qatar, she developed like her own family friends. Example. So when I went to Dubai, it was very different. Like it was very nice. Like I'll go to the malls, we'll get something to eat, we'll go to the beach. But it was very different to what I'm seeing right now, and I'm just so scared like that it will just get
Yeah.
cheapened. I don't want to, like, don't get me wrong, I actually do want to go to Dubai at some point, yeah, but I don't want to go to Dubai and there being like you're one of them, man.
Yeah, so it's important. What you just said is super important. Like one of my friends, she got back from Dubai a couple of weeks ago, and she loves it. She actually wants to move out to Dubai long term. I think she's currently in the process of like interviewing for a job out there and stuff. But she said to me that yes, it still remains amazing from a weather perspective. Yes, there are loads of things to do, and yes, the niceness of it, because it is fairly artificial. It's like very, very bars, clubs, hotel centered, makes it a nice getaway for the most part. But what she also told me, bruv, is that like on the beaches of Dubai on the holiday that she was there for a couple of weeks, she got stranded out there because of the lockdown. She said there were 2 stabbings on the beach within a couple of weeks of her being there on
London
holiday.
people.
Are you serious?
Like people from like Manchester. So
Yeah, it
UK
must be,
people,
because people don't do that in Dubai. You get your arm chopped
yeah,
off.
it's like people like in the UK literally risking getting locked up in a Dubai prison because they're just
don't
out
wanna end
there
up
on
there
there
either.
some crud. So the profile of people who have now heard of Dubai and its allure,
How cheap are flights,
is
bro?
changing. It's not very
That's
expensive.
not-
I
but it's
remember.
not- it also is not that cheap.
yeah,
bro.
it's not cheap once you're there for sure.
But it's not cheap to fly there either. It's like it's a few hundred quid. Like.
It's a few hundred quid for sure, but I think that's
It's not like 1 or 2 to get to Benidorm.
yeah for like a 6-hour flight to Dubai.
450, 500 quid or
Yeah,
something.
if you book it early enough, you can get good deals. I remember when I went in 2016, I booked pretty last minute, and I think I got a £350 flight.
Oh, right, that's
probably
cheap,
a few. Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
it really wasn't.
I thought it was
too,
more than that still.
Yeah, it wasn't a massive barrier to me going, especially at the time I was at that point. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going.
going, yeah.
But like, it's accessible now. And yeah, people are going mad out there. Like, it's not just about like seeing familiar faces, which I absolutely hate, by the way. Like my number one goal when I go on holiday is making sure I don't see anyone from the ends. So, you know, that element people don't mind as much, but there's also an element now of just like you're going out there and it's not just the people that you know, but there's also just a lot of like violence and shit going on out there now as well.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
And then when I go away, I want to just let my hair down, yeah?
Yeah.
And not really give a fuck. Obviously, like, by default, we stay drippy, innit? But,
of course.
Like, I don't want to be going out there and it's like a watch face thing. I've never been like that. We're all in, like, fair to say we're all in our own lane in a sense.
Yeah.
But I just hate being, that's why I don't like going to like clubs in London and shit like that, because I'm just so
It's a
anti
watch
those
me
things.
culture.
Watch one culture,
Yeah.
who's got the biggest wallet, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Rather than everyone just going over there and just
proper
enjoying
duck, yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
and just being
And we're
themselves.
just doing a 2-step in Uniqlo.
100,
You know
bro.
what I
I'm
mean?
Uniqlo'd all
Being,
over.
being,
bruv.
being frowned upon by people in Alexander McQueen
Do you know
kicks
the-
and Gucci belts.
Do you know what the realist is?
On the outside.
I've got Uniqlo beach shorts. That's what's up. I don't care. You can come with your Gucci things.
No, I tell you what, beat shorts, yeah. I like Oliver Brown.
Are you guys? Are you guys?
who the fuck is
Are you
Oliver
guys like a
Brown?
mid-length type beach short? Or are you like a long over the knees type
No,
beach
you can't
short?
go over the knee. That's mad chat. That's mad
Looking
chat.
like Homer
bro. That's
Simpson
that's
or King of the Hill.
Trousers, bro. You can't,
like
you
King
can't
of the
wear
Hill, fam.
trousers to the beach.
Them King of the
bruv.
Hill.
So where are we? Are we just above the knees?
Nah.
Are we kissing
No,
the knees?
I got footballer's thighs in it, so I'm comfortably above the
Yeah,
knee.
so
and
I'm
I got
like-
legs to
I'm
work
like-
with.
So
just
I got footballer's thighs as well. So short shorts really fuck me up because after a while it's just,
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
mad
it's
rubbing.
rubby, and
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah,
And you know
and
what?
then-
Once
and then
once the
pictures, yeah.
sand gets inside,
it's a
you're
wrap.
done.
It's a
Listen,
wrap.
but
You need to get
also,
back into the
yeah,
sea, bro.
and also looking back at pictures and that, yeah, fam, he's realised, yeah, he's got one bulge just on the side of it, and it's like it looks like you're.
All right, speak for yourself, mate.
you know what I mean?
Well, no,
Fucking
Pencil
hell.
dick over here.
No, what's that
Lucky boy.
saying? What's that saying called again? You used a saying the other day when you're like, oh, Zav.
Oh, first trap in.
First trap. that's it.
yeah.
What,
like
live thirst
So you're
trapping?
you're taking a calm picture in your swimming shorts, yeah, just chilling, just like sipping on like a daiquiri or something. Yeah?
Biting your lip.
A daiquiri.
A daiquiri, yeah. But then like you realize like after like the
love you,
10th
man.
look on the picture, it's like you can just see like a silhouette in it.
Oh, what a shame that is.
No,
Oh.
but I prefer just.
Can you
above
imagine
the
this
knee.
little humble flex right now? He's
Right.
literally telling all of our listeners.
Listen, it's not
Whenever
my,
you
it's not,
see
it's not my
me-
fault that my thing's 14 inches.
Yeah, summer's
soft.
coming, bitches.
Not even.
Do you know what
If
it is?
I upload a picture
It
of
is
my
what it is.
shorts, do the zoom.
Like I got medium-sized thighs, but I've got 3 legs.
I'm not even
so I
doing
need
that.
large
Oh,
shorts.
Zoom in.
you guys are proper trolling me. I'm saying why I don't
Out of
like.
nowhere.
I'm
We were
saying
talking
why,
about fucking length of shorts, and you're
The
like, yeah,
knee-length
yeah, no, but
shorts,
my
man.
bulge,
And then you
bruv.
go,
We
bruv, do you
were
know
talking
what-
about how big our
bruv,
thighs
do you know
were, and
what-
you're like,
bruv,
yeah,
do you know
my
what it
dick
is?
though.
On Instagram, it's not even the length, it's the girth that shows, and that's what really gets me
All
down.
right, cool. My nuts don't fit. Next. We got there in here. We landed. We're picking up luggage now. Or what?
So let's leave Dubai and the frequent visiting of Dubai in 2020.
Ooh, I'm
very
sad,
much-
I'm good looking. Ooh.
Oh my god. I didn't
Don't
say
bite.
that.
Don't bite.
I'm even gonna fight.
Oh, I'm Sammy. I'm good looking. I got big dick. Oh, check out my swim shorts.
Oh, I've got a 14-inch dick and I'm photogenic.
Oh
Fuck you.
my god. One thing I want to leave firmly in 2020, which didn't happen very regularly over the course of the year, but did happen quite a bit, is when you log into Instagram and somebody's story has the green circle around it. And then you realize you're all of a sudden one of their close friends.
What's the
awkward.
green story?
So when you go on Instagram, oh boy, this is awkward because Xavi's nobody's close friend. But when you see someone's story, it's got a green circle around
When you see a green
their-
circle,
around their image.
It means
close
that they-
friends.
it means that-
okay, when they restrict the people that
when
can
they
do
have
it.
put
Yeah.
you in their close friend circle and you're just sat there questioning why.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
To quote,
I've been put in close friends of people I have not physically met.
Yeah, but you're a wavy guy in it, so they want to just make
True.
sure you're not missing it.
I don't want you to put me in your close friends.
Don't
There is
come
a heightened
close
pressure,
to me.
a heightened pressure and responsibility associated with that movement that I don't have capacity for right now.
to quote
Yeah.
to quote ZZ Mills, we're associates. We're not even friends like that. I don't know why people use these terms.
So yeah, leave that in 2020. You know, I mean, I got love for everybody, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be your close friend.
I know what you mean, man. You know what? To be fair, I don't story flick. I would normally just post and go to an extent. But I'm a fan of Explore page. But also, if I'm checking out you man's stories, I'm actually going on your page and then clicking on your.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's a bit of a 3-step rather than a 1-step, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just that close friend thing. I get it. You're out after 10 o'clock. And
I
you're-
might add,
you know what I mean?
I might add Rich as a close friend now just to rattle him.
No, but we're boys, so
Yeah, come
that's
with that.
cool.
Yeah, come with that as well.
No, you guys are my boys. What I'm saying is, if you're not my boy, if you're not fam, if you're not gang,
I don't
we
owe
can't-
you anything.
Don't green circle me.
Oh, I'm rich. I'm popular. People like me. Oh, so
Oh, I'm
difficult.
rich. I'm popular.
I deserve that to me.
Content.
I just deserve that.
People want me to.
I don't need to be-
People
yeah, I'm
want to
rich,
stay close to me. Oh.
It just makes me nervous. It just makes me nervous.
Oh, nervous.
genuinely. It does-
Pee my
Actually,
pants.
it really impacts me that people like me.
Really impacts me. Oh.
It's fair. It's fair. Anything you want to leave in 2020, Johnny?
Swedish style.
This is gonna trigger me already.
Swedish.
Same, I'm hot already.
I'm already hot.
No. It's Swedish style herd immunity.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna talk about like Swedish style fashion or whatever. I was gonna fucking jump on, man.
Swedish style herd immunity, and
I was
also
about to leave podcast.
also weekend lad trips to Stockholm. You can leave those.
No.
Never.
couldn't avoid that
The
one.
moment where they're out of like.
No, but like for real.
No,
Herd immunity.
herd, yeah, we can leave that
What is
herd
that, by the
immunity.
way? What's herd
Okay, Okay, so basically all these like right-wing nut jobs were like, why are we doing another lockdown? This is really against people's civil liberties. If you look at the example of Sweden, this was back in the summer, look at the example of Sweden, they're doing really, really well. They've had fewer cases than Britain and they've just letting people out. Everyone's living their life normally. As it turned out, it was a fucking disaster. They've got 10 times higher death rate than Norway and Finland. You can't compare Sweden to Britain because of two main factors. One, there's a high proportion of people who live alone, and two, there's a lot more sparsely populated country, which means that transmission is a lot harder.
Yep.
But also their economy has had a much bigger hit. Their death rate is way higher, and it's actually got so fucked in Sweden. The government have come out and apologized. The chief scientific advisor come out and apologized. The king of Sweden's come out and been like, that was fucking dumb. And now all these right-wing nut jobs no longer talk about Swedish-style herd immunity. So we can leave that behind.
Can I play devil's advocate, being a honorary Swede who is hugely close to what's been happening on the ground there, and obviously we were there. The single biggest contributor to their high numbers in relation to the other Nordic countries was what happened in the elderly homes, in the care homes. So yes, they have 10 times the amount of Denmark and Norway, etc. But that was because of the damage that was already done at the start of this pandemic. It's not a continued huge surge in deaths. Yes, the cases are going up, but I do think it is slightly unfair to say already, especially 9 months in, that herd immunity wasn't impactful or didn't work, given that the cases that are associated to the younger people and the not so old people, so people outside the elderly homes, wasn't actually high and continues to be relatively low. Not that I want to compare it to the UK, but relatively low to a lot of countries. Yes, the king came out. Yes, the PM, right before we were meant to go out, by the way, so that affected us. Our first flight to Stockholm got cancelled because of the changes that they made over here and over there. The king and prime minister obviously criticised Anders Tegnell, who is their chief epidemiologist. But I think that's purely because they're looking at it on absolute terms.
Well, I probably dispute a couple of those claims insofar as, yeah, there was a massive fuck up with the elderly homes at the beginning, but actually if you look across the age spectrum, they've still got a higher infection rate and to an extent death rate versus their Nordic neighbours. So I'm not sure that argument stands up. But also they're basically now, having spent months letting the virus rip through the entire country, now going back to a curfew and lockdown model, which is effectively admitting defeat, insofar as it's saying that what the model that we'd adapted by locking people down and closing businesses is more likely to deal with stopping transmission than allowing people to go out and mix constantly.
But bro,
and frequently.
like their economy,
had they adopted this strategy months ago, they'd been in a better place.
Their
That's the
economy
point.
wasn't hugely harmed because they didn't shut it down. So you could argue that,
but it's being shut down.
They're
now.
It's not. They're not full lockdown. They can't actually, because
they've had a much bigger economic hit than any of their neighbours.
In what sense?
In terms of loss to GDP.
How?
Look at the numbers. Look at the Swedish GDP rate.
Well, I haven't looked at the GDP rate. I have read a lot of articles throughout the year, and maybe I'll have to double check it. But
so it was all looking rosy in the summer. It was all looking rosy in the summer, and it's all fallen to shit.
They haven't actually imposed a full lockdown though in the country. So they're likely to put in some forcible mask rules. So making masks a law. But I think because of the Swedish constitution, there's only so much they can do to actually take away people's freedoms, generally speaking anyway, which is why they actually had to attack the restaurants and the bars as opposed to putting a lockdown in place. So yes, the restaurants and bars have to close at 10:30, but they can't, for example, tell people not to gather in their homes. All they can do is recommend that people don't. So I don't necessarily think that the strategy, I actually think it's probably too early to say, number one, but I also think that any strategy or any decent strategy, I think we've spoken about this before, probably has a few prongs to it. And I reckon herd immunity, kind of in lieu of a vaccination early doors, etc., had to be one of the realistic strategies that a government explored. And I think if you went down that route, which Holland flirted with, which the UK flirted with, but Stockholm actually did, I think there's a lot to be said for just having a strategy, going with it. And yes, if you were wrong, you hold your hands up and say you were wrong, but at least having a strategy. They kept the majority of the schools open. They kept the economy running. And yes, some people died, and that's horrible, but
10 times the amount of their closest neighbours.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the other countries, like Denmark, for example, Norway, were a lot harsher on their borders, and Sweden wasn't. So again, maybe that's the part of the strategy which needs to be assessed more so than the herd immunity piece. Denmark and Norway literally just shut. They were like, nah, bruv. So maybe that's what countries needed to do. And I think that's like the New Zealand example, right?
New Zealand, Australia, which we should have fucking done as well.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we should have done that.
Actually, China did that as well.
You feel me? So maybe that's where they went wrong, we went wrong. But I think herd immunity, man, like, I think the thing that fucked herd immunity, bruv, is that the antibodies associated with getting it
Yeah.
apparently don't last very long.
Possibly, yeah.
So again, like new disease, right? New virus. Like how do we really, really know until we know? And that takes months and months and months. It's just a time element to it. But yeah, I feel you, man. Herd immunity. Leave that in
That's a
2020.
new word for me as well. I like that
You've
word.
heard it. Herd immunity. You must have heard
Mate,
that loads of
We've
times.
discussed it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we discussed
I know
it.
we discussed it, but like, I don't know. I don't really like.
The idea is that
Yeah.
enough people get it, and then you become immune to it, and you stop passing it around each other, and
You freeze
the
fell
herd.
to the floor.
Yeah, I know. So the herd,
That was an accent. I was just.
the herd becomes immune. That's the idea of it.
Do you want to leave ASAP Rocky dating Rihanna in 2020?
No, I actually
You
wanted
men
to
are
stalk
are
him.
very cut up about this.
You want to stalk him?
I just want to stalk him. I'm actually painting. Like,
Is it you're in
you
pain?
know that meme, yeah, of like the black boy, he's got like tears coming in his eyes, yeah, he's looking out the window. I put Rihanna up there like stardom, yeah.
You think
ASAP.
do you
ASAP.
think she is the fittest woman in the world?
No, I think she's one of the fittest.
Yes.
I think she's one of the fittest.
You think she's the most beautiful woman in the world?
I'm
I
capping.
think-
I'm
I think-
capping.
I
I'm
think
capping.
Rihanna is-
I'm capping. I think Rihanna
I think
is.
Rihanna's top 2 and she's not 2.
Yeah, I think Rihanna is top 2, not 2. I take that
So
back.
this is going to upset you both. I never really got it.
No, I don't really get Beyonce.
Jesus Christi.
I never really got it. Like,
I don't really get
she's
Beyonce.
What
beautiful.
is Johnny talking about?
She's a
Yeah,
beautiful woman.
Johnny one of the people. Yeah, Johnny's just a rebel, isn't it? He just wants to go left
Why
with
is he
things.
saying this shit?
She's like she's a beautiful woman, obviously, but like, is she the fittest woman in the world?
Yes.
Yo, she's
No, I don't think
fit.
so. I don't think so. I've never like, obviously she's beautiful. I've just never really got the hype.
Don't obviously she's beautiful me, mate. Sick of your shit.
Obviously,
I'm
she's
sick of your
beautiful.
shit.
But I've never got the hype.
I
There
just-
is, there
I
is.
just
There's-
wanted
there's
to-
the take. Rihanna is not as hot as everyone makes
No,
her.
I think she's
That's the
pissed,
take.
bro. And you know what it is? I actually just genuinely want to have an argument
Why
with
is
her.
he
Just so I can
saying
hear.
this?
That's the
I
take.
genuinely want to have an argument with her just so I can hear a Trini accent. I want to hear how that sounds.
But I swear she's
You know
not
what
from Trinidad. I swear she's from Barbados.
Oh no, so Barbados, my
Yeah,
bad.
Barbados.
I just want to hear that Bajan accent. Like I just want to hear how it sounds. And
Got
just
there in
like
the
and just like that, the expression that I saw or reaction I saw from Rich, it sounded like he was going to do a Bajan accent. So I'm gonna pass the mic
Do I look
over.
like a mug, mate?
So I'm gonna pass the mic over to Rich.
Nope.
Rich, come
Defend-
on.
Nope.
The
defend your
crowd
woman.
love it.
Here's
Isn't
Avi. Take off them boxer briefs.
that was actually good. But you sound like Desmond, who was Guyanese. You sound like Desmond, who was Guyanese from the show Desmond's. So
Rest in peace, Desmond.
Shout
yeah,
out.
recipes Desmond, man.
It's our neighbours as well. Next door to Venezuela, Ghana. Next door to Venezuela.
Oh yeah,
Guyana.
for real.
For real.
For real.
For real.
But yeah, I reckon in terms of ASAP, don't get me wrong. I think ASAP's flea. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
to be honest.
to an extent he's a bit of a dick. I've had like one or two encounters
massive
with him.
wally, yeah.
But like other than
Sorry, just casually. Certain man are local, certain man.
nah, he was local.
Certain man are
No.
local.
I was no.
Certain man wear bifocals.
No,
Certain man-
I was
certain
no.
men have
I was
local
local. Nah,
encounters
Rich knows the
with A$AP
story.
Rocky.
Rich knows the story. I was local in Visions, and so
R.I.P. Visions, by the way.
RP Visions, but basically ASAP came local. I didn't go global.
Okay.
ASAP came. He's loved him and Pharrell, and that is love Visions. Visions like a tiny ass club underground in Dawson, innit?
Yeah.
And he was.
Oh, I know Visions.
Yeah, Visions
Yeah.
nightclub, yeah.
Yeah,
like
fuck,
main
I thought,
road,
I
main
thought he
road.
was talking about another Visions.
Yeah,
bro.
no,
was-
no,
that
Visions.
was
No,
like
that,
Dusty
that, no,
Highway.
that
Yeah.
Visions. Yeah, he did like two things that he was a dick.
That was time ago, though. wasn't
Time
it?
ago.
I don't think he was a dick for this, by the way. I think it's
Oh.
quite... No, the main thing was...
What happened?
No, bro.
Oh, no, the one thing was a dick, but what he did
one
after was
for his
actually
dick.
quite
so
G.
literally,
What
I'm upstairs. I'm up because it's like a boiler room in Visions,
Yeah, I know,
innit,
I know.
yeah. So like, I've gone outside just to chill. Like I'm just out, I'm out in the smoking area. I'm chilling. I'm actually talking to another artist. I can't really say his name, but I'm just chatting away with him, just on a casual one. And I'm on my phone as I'm like talking to him because I'm messaging my boy, so I'm coming back in. And then all I hear is this American geezer going, "Hey yo, you got a lighter?" or something like that. I mean, you got a lighter. And I haven't got a lighter, but I'm back on my phone. I told him, "No, I ain't got a lighter," and I'm back on my phone to basically just message my boy saying, "Look, I'm gonna cut soon" or something like that.
This
And then-
vision of Xavi at a urinal, both hands utilising
No.
phone,
No,
penis swinging and taking a leak is
This
wild
yo,
to me right now.
this I know your source.
This is a wild visual right now.
This I know he's burst because I actually said smoking area. I
He
didn't
did
say
say
urinal.
smoking
Oh,
area.
did he?
I got
did say
two stories.
smoking
You're three stories.
How does that
actually.
help my narrative? It's your
But
story.
anyway, so basically,
It's my story.
So basically,
Fucking story.
so basically that happens, and then
So he asked you
ASAP
for a lighter.
yeah, and then
You're
Abe
busy
said
texting.
nah, and then I'm back on my phone. But then his reaction, he slaps my phone at my hand,
Oh, Ross.
and I'm like,
For
fam.
real?
I was like, fam, we did. I literally was like, we did. And I realized it's ASAP in it, but again, I was like, we did.
But fuck that, he slapped my hand.
And I was like, we did, bro. But then he had one hench ass bodyguard.
Okay.
And I wasn't on it, innit? So basically, I'm not the type of person, yeah, to take pictures of celebrities, innit? Like for me, they're human, like whatever.
yeah.
I just keep it moving.
I'm
Sec-
only human.
Second
after
time,
all.
I'm in the urinal taking a leak, yeah, just finishing up. and then I get dragged out. Like I'll finish my shake. We're gonna call it, yeah. And then freaking
2 or 3 shakes.
I do about 3 or 4.
I do about 5 or 6.
That's wanking.
just tug one out. Stress relief in the club, innit?
Oh Jesus!
We don't want any stray
yo,
trickles.
let's keep.
we don't want stray trickles.
Trust me, fam.
That is.
Yeah, that's real. But I get dragged out of the urinal, and
What?
Yeah, basically
what?
they want to keep the men's toilet, free for ASAP to pee.
Oh my days! Are you serious?
Oh, I thought the part of the story that was funny was when he basically was just dragged. Everybody just left.
So then, you know what? This is actually 3 encounters on one day. I
That's
think
crazy.
Actually, yeah? So then, an hour left into Visions. This is when Visions was stay up until like 5 a.m. or something. Yeah, and then I'd see a big, those big Mercedes minibuses that are tinted. 2 of those pulled up, and loads of girls are just getting into the minivan. And literally, some of them are even standing by this point, by the looks of it. And then ASAP gets in ASAP gets into a car behind or something like that. I go back downstairs and I'm asking my bedroom out, what the hell just happened? All the things left the club, innit? Yeah. And then, boom, you're left with just mad people just having mad chat.
There's just scraps left.
Just scraps left in it, yeah. And basically, he told me that ASAP got into the mic and was like, I got an apartment in Mayfair. Whoever's up for it, the bus is outside.
That's some G shit, bro.
He just mic dropped.
That's some G shit.
Apparently he mic dropped. He literally mic dropped.
That's some G shit.
later.
And then he cut.
Salute.
So, but with all that said, actually rate
literally.
ASAP as an artist, like, as a creative. Not as an artist. More in terms of like culture and fashion, innit? But yeah, let's bring Rihanna and ASAP into 2021 because I actually want to stalk the hell out of their relationship.
Let's keep them there. No, good luck to them. Great to see Rihanna happy. Don't care so much about ASAP Rocky's happiness with Rihanna as much as I care about Rihanna's happiness in general.
You think she'd be happy?
Yeah, I think she's calm.
She's cool, man.
And
cool.
no, I'm looking forward to what 2021.
Can we leave Rishi Sunak?
Yeah, we can leave Rishi Sunak as an honourable mention. Honourable mention. We can leave.
Can
Rishi
we leave
Sunak.
Nando's?
Nope.
Can we leave Nando's?
No, you had me at Rishi, but
bro.
relax on Nando's.
Can leave
Relax,
Nando's.
man.
Yeah.
You didn't even try Nando's in 2020.
Yeah.
Facts. I didn't go to Nando's in 2020.
Before we move on to a dedication, just want to apologise to Auntie Vivas.
Yes.
Last
say your piece.
Last episode, I went on a bit of a tirade about my views that she may not like me, questioning whether or not me myself was just bad vibes in general, because she had followed my friends and not me. She heard the podcast, followed me, and then I realised that in fact I wasn't actually following her.
But also your page was private.
Yeah. So I just want to apologise to Johnny's mum.
Auntie, we apologise.
Auntie
We
Vivas.
apologise for him.
If I ever speak reckless on your name again, you have full rights.
Auntie, please
to
make him
pull up
make him
on the
what do you call
podcast.
it? Prostrate, is it?
and
Make him prostrate.
and tell me what's what, because I deserved it after that bullshit last week. So
He needs a ruler to his knuckles.
because I rate your
No,
son,
you're gonna get the horsewhip, bro.
Because I rate your son so highly. And because I did it publicly a couple of weeks ago, it's only right that I come back and apologise.
He's a good man, Auntie.
Publicly as well.
He's a good man.
Love you. I apologise. Hope to see you soon.
That's what's up.
Right, last thing we're going to do today before we wrap up. To be honest, I don't think we really need to do a new music section, to be honest. If you want to listen to new music, there wasn't much in the last couple of weeks. Listen to Playboi Carti's Whole Lot of Red album. It's not very good. Listen to Little Durk, The Voice. Little Durk is very good.
Yo, crazy album.
Little Durk, The Voice, R.I.P. King Von. For me, Little Durk's one of the future stars of rap music, so listen to that. We'll finish on on sad news, which literally came out an hour or so shy of UK time, New Year. The shocking, very upsetting death of a rap cult legend, MF Doom, who sadly passed away in pretty mysterious circumstances. His wife released a statement via his Instagram page and via the socials yesterday, dedicating a really lovely message to her husband, business partner. But then she also mentioned at the bottom that he transitioned on the 31st of October, 2020. So we're actually hearing the news 2 months after it happened. Now, I don't want to say too much about him. I think, you know, for anybody who is a fan of MF Doom, he was a very, very enigmatic, very, very talented, UK-born, London-born
London boy.
rapper who moved over to the States in New York very, very young. Has had a life that has been filled with tragedy. He lost his brother early on into his music career. Just 3 years ago, he lost his son at 14 years old. You know, I'm big on. I think all the three men on this podcast are big on privacy. And, you know, artists who kind of come and go in between their releases as well. I typically gravitate towards those artists because they're not on the hype. It's really just about their art. It's just about their talent. He is given what many consider to be classic albums. Mad Villainy was the one that I think most people say is his masterpiece. My personal favorite was the one that he did, The Mouse and the Mask, that he did with Danger Mouse, who's one of my favorite producers. But the guy just was a true artist. He had respect across all of the genres. And it really is, a really tragic way. It really was, I should say, a really tragic way to end 2020. But it was unfortunately very on brand with what was a terrible, terrible year. So rest in peace to Daniel Dumile, or Dumile, hopefully I said that right, also known as MF Doom. Thoughts are with his family. Condolences to everybody who loved him and cares about him.
Yeah, man, echo all of that. He was very much an MC's MC. He wasn't one that sought mad mainstream fanfare like the rest of that hip-hop explosion towards the end of the 90s and all throughout the noughties and stuff. But if you asked any American MC or any American hip-hop artist who their top 10 MCs were, I can almost guarantee you to the face that MF Doom is right up there. The flow was unique, the style was unique, the type of beats were unique. The work with Madlib was ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah, R.I.P. to MF Doom. R.I.P. to anybody we lost in 2020 as well. 2021 is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Amen. Finally, fucking hell.
I want to end on a point I was actually meant to start with, something that kind of annoyed me. P. Diddy, who is obviously an icon, he's an idol as well. Like, he posted something at the end of the year, which basically said, if 2020 didn't bring out the hustle in you, it ain't in you. Try your best to not consume such ridiculous messages, and try and consume yourself with messages that are kind of more along the lines of Jamila Jamils, who posted a really, really nice New Year's Eve message or New Year's Day message about why just surviving through 2020 was an achievement in itself. The depression, the sadness, the feeling of being overwhelmed, all of these different feelings that we all had at some point throughout the year, being able to ride through those feelings throughout 2020 without having a focus for how much money you make or what new business venture that you've been able to form in the lockdown era. These are the kind of messages I think people need to focus on. So try your very, very best, with all due respect to one of the greatest contributors to the genre that defined my life, P. Diddy. Try your best to ignore messages like that. It's not about 2020, as it turns out, wasn't about fucking hustling. 2020 was about surviving. So if you were able to survive, God bless you. We got a fucking other lap though.
So you'd stick it on people when you're a fucking billionaire, though. Do you know what I mean? It's not like P. Diddy gets up and hustles anymore. Guys sleeping in silk pajamas.
Do you know what I mean?
Still
Relax.
boxers.
He
Still
needs to
boxers
relax.
metaphor. Just chill yourself out. People are having a hard time. It's all right to have had a hard time.
Yeah, he needs to relax.
Onwards and upwards and forwards.
Anyway.
2021. That's what's up.
But yeah, pleasure as always, gentlemen. Any parting words?
I don't know. It's been quite a chill one this week.
Yeah.
We've not really been on a hype.
Fireside. Yeah, listen, this fireside thing, yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
I think this is like, we'll add this to our rules.
It's
like,
a vibe.
It's got to be.
It's a vibe.
You might need to cop the lighting.
Yeah.
I will.
It's a
I'm
vibe.
doing
It's
that
a
today.
vibe.
I'm gonna start off with like the
orbs.
Yeah.
first, and then
Philips Hue smart lighting.
Yeah. So
Sponsor us,
as usual, comment, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a hoe, and meet us here in a couple of weeks' time. We love you. This could end terribly.
bye.
See you on the flip side.